Yep, 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 yep. All right. So we go talk about that tight end at pick 58. For the Dallas Cowboys. Really? Come on, man. So yeah, we definitely got to talk about that. Because I know that's on a lot of people's mind. It should be. It should be. Well, for some people it's not. But I'm going to break it all the way down. Alright, so I'm going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it either. So we're going to just keep it real. Because I call it a trance. And I think the trance is of tight end is on the whole football world. I think for the most part what's going on at tight end is an old thought that needs to be updated. That's all it is. It's an old thought. And we living in the past. We living in old thinking. So I'm going to let everybody know right now. I'm going to give tight end one more year. I'm going to give tight end literally just one more year. Tight end, you literally got one more year to show me something. Or I'm going all out attack on the propaganda of tight end. Because I feel like it bit my team twice. I ain't gonna even lie. I feel like we got bit twice on it. I feel like we just got bit at pick 58. And it's not saying that he's not gonna be a good player. It's just that history says that likely we not gonna get that contender return out of him. That's what history says, and we gonna talk about it because the history is very long, very deep. So I already know I have realistic expectations for our new tight end. I have realistic expectations. It's been a lot of pressure that's been put on him even because he's a pick 58. But hey man, he a grown man. He likely gonna handle his business. But at the same time, this still needs to be addressed. To where I'm gonna talk about this from a logical standpoint. I'm gonna be very logical today. So I'm gonna break this all the way down. So y'all just sit back, relax. Your boy Boss Cowboy gonna take care of you. Be right back. Let's go. Come on. Bobby. Come on now. Y'all get in here and have a seat. Yes, indeed. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Man, I like when that beat kick in. Make me feel good. I see y'all coming in. I see you. My boy Juno, so people sleeping on Schoonmaker. Yeah, a lot of people sleeping on him. Straight sleeping. He said, let's go. Yeah, that beat is bananas, man. You know what I mean? Get you ready. Let you know that boy Boss is coming. Creeping through the fog. Alright, we finna kick it off. heard this, been hearing this all day. He's a hell of a blocker. He's a hell of a blocker. We gonna talk about that. He's a hell of a blocker. He go lay out some people. He go just bring out running backs. Boss got you. I got you. Let's go. All right, here we go. Come on now. Okay. All right. So yeah, we gonna talk about this today because it's a lot of people might not just talk about this. Like I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna be very real about this. I ain't gonna even pull no punches with you at all. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. But today I'm gonna start off a little bit different. See, yesterday when I was solving problems and trying to think of ideas, now this is the good news. Some of the ideas that I was talking about, if you listen closely, they are hinting towards what I talked about. So they have some Mauler plans. We gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about that, the Mauler plans, because the Dallas Cowboys, the way that they drafted, have to have a plan B for left guard. But we'll talk about that later. We gonna do a show later with my boy Tuck, where we go, maybe the OC might be able to join that one too. And we gonna just cut through the tea leaves. Now it's very good news. So I'm gonna start with good news. All right. So with my boy Luke, y'all give me 1 second. So with my boy Luke, this the deal. With the positive. One of the most important things right now that's going on with Luke. The most important thing, because we talked about yesterday the elephants in the room, right? So it's a lot of people, if they keeping it real, pick 2 shocked them, right? It shocked them, and it was wild, right? But to start off with some good news, I'm gonna say this. First of all, one of the best things going on for Schoonmaker, hopefully I'm saying his name right, Schoon, right? One of the best things going on right now for him is that he's going into a deep room. That's one of the most important things that's going on. And a room that's led by one of the best coaches right now in the NFL, London Wells. So London Wells have one of the best track records when it comes down to coaching tight ends. Okay. So obviously I'm going to cover this and I'm going to be balanced. I'm going to give you the good. I'm going to give you the bad. I'm going to give you the reality. I'm not going to give you no popcorn. That's not going to do us no good to sugarcoat stuff. Right. But I'm also talk to the people that was disappointed at 58 because it's a lot. And I don't want y'all to be scared to speak your mind. Because a lot of people try to make us feel like we unloyal because we didn't just co-sign and give the whole draft for A++, right? So where we scratched our heads at some of it. And I definitely scratched my head at pick 58, right? And it doesn't mean that we don't have a dog, okay? We could have a dog on our hands. But when I really, really look at history very close, the chances of him being an instant breakout is very slim. That doesn't mean he might be the next Dak Prescott, to where it could be some injuries that happen in front of him and he's forced out there and he's a rock star instantly. That's possible. One of the also good news is that it's some good measurables that's behind him athletically, right? So when you look at the measurables that's behind him, you're like, okay, I can see there's some ceiling with him. So Coach Q called in, and it wasn't the best calls, and he talked about, which made me think of this pick even today as I was preparing this. And the Dallas Cowboys are a ceiling draft team. They are. They are. When I really thought about it after my boy Q explained it, even this pick is a ceilings pick. It's a ceilings pick. So, meaning it's a lot of upside. And if you're a team that's really aggressive about developing your guys, I understand the strategy of getting guys with upside and then putting the rest on your coaches to try to get that upside out of them. So from a good news perspective, starting it off with good news, right? He is coming to a great environment that could get the best out of him. Because even if you look at Schultz and you look at Jarwin, when Coach Wells took over, you saw their game greatly spike. They greatly start playing with confidence because of Coach Wells. So I expect the same thing with this tight end. I do. So as good news, we should get some good production eventually. But I would be lying to you if I said that I expect this dude to come out and be a gangbusters year one. Schoon. I don't expect it at all, because history says that that's generally not gonna happen. And we're gonna talk about history. We're gonna go into history. And the position that we in says this is not gonna happen. Just the position that we sitting in, with Ferguson in front of him, with Hendershot in front of him. You gotta basically beat out two tight ends to become tight end one. And usually tight end one with the Dallas Cowboys at best go get you about 800 yards. And I'm gonna go through all that history. So before you can even really become excited over Schoon, it's gonna be about Schoon based on history. And I'm gonna go through the history. I'm gonna show y'all this history. It's a long history of this. Okay. It's gonna be about him playing or becoming tight end one eventually. Can he do that? It's gonna be about, can he beat out Ferguson and can he beat out Hendershot? So I've also been hearing about his blocking. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't confirmed the blocking yet, but we will confirm this blocking within a week for sure. And we're gonna do a side by side. See, because when we was having differences between Lyle Collins and Steele, because originally I was saying that Lyle Collins was better. I was saying it bold, strong, with my chest out. But then I did a side by side. And I changed my mind based on what I was seeing on the film. I changed. So then I brought the side by side and I apologized openly. I was like, man, I was wrong. I was telling y'all wrong the whole time. Let's go through the film and see if I'm crazy. So we compared side by side Lyle and Steele, and we put it to a vote with the whole chat. 100% of the chat from the film says Steele was better. I have never seen that, because I always say this: you can't get 100% of Dallas Cowboy fans to agree that the sky is blue when it's blue. And then my boy Marcus said, and that's okay. See, I respect y'all disagreements, bro. Your voice matter up in here. He said, I disagree. Schoon is a 5 to 6 year starter with 25 years old. He is more likely to produce as a rookie because of the experience. If the run block is good, he can get more reps than expected. Yeah, I mean, my thing is, why didn't we see that age really pay off in college? Because if we go talk about tight end, and I'm gonna really get deep into tight end itself. But I first want to just kind of start with my thoughts on Schoonmaker. Okay, so let's kind of see, because my issue with the Dallas Cowboys, I'm also to a degree, because I would be very hypocritical if I knocked them too hard for reaching, because they did reach. This was a clear reach, y'all. It was a reach. It was a reach by everybody's standard, because see, y'all should know, if y'all was watching on draft day, I keep all the ranks. He was ranked 166. He was picked at 58. Like literally most of us had a 4th or 5th round grade on him at best. So they did reach. But see, I'm not mad at people reaching. Because this is the thing, and this is where I'm proud of the Cowboys. I'm proud that if you believe in your guy and you believe in his ceiling, go get him. I ain't got no problem with that, because I would be very hypocritical if I knocked them for reaching after I preached all weekend, go get your guy. And I'm not gonna give double tongue. I ain't gonna do it like that. So I have no problem with the Dallas Cowboys going to get a guy that they believe in. I have no problem with that. My problem is what I believe that they believe in about tight end. I think the Dallas Cowboys are falling for that wee-woo and that propaganda that's pretty much out there on tight end. It's a whole bunch of wee-woo. I'm gonna talk about it.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee-woo.
So I have no problem with aggression. I have a problem with this trance that seems to be on the football world, because it's like it's a trance when it comes to tight end. It's like mind control. That's the best way I can say it. It's like people repeating what don't make sense and what's not even actual facts, and they keep doing it. So let's just kind of, and I'm gonna talk about real quick, and I'm gonna break down where this is likely coming from, because see, I noticed something, and I noticed the pattern. The rumors of tight end picked up for Dallas right after the combine. So I'm gonna show y'all this, and I'm gonna show y'all where I believe that what's going on is this some groupthink that's going on. So it's a term called groupthink. So groupthink is where you start having everybody saying the same thing. So for people to feel safe, you start talking like the group, because it's a safe place. And the more and more you hear people say it, the more and more you start feeling like, should I go against what I'm hearing constantly? And let me give you a perfect example. It's a whole reason why you hear so many people call Dak average. Now, Dak will put up and been putting up top 5 numbers since he been in the league. He been putting up big numbers since he been in the league. Obviously, he had him a couple ups and downs, like with the receiver by committee. But what do you hear in the streets? He's average. Why? That's because people hearing it a lot. When you hear all the major networks keep calling him Regress Scott, and you hearing your own local fans lobbying for us to get a quarterback this draft, that groupthink and what you hearing over and over and over can form an opinion in your head if you're not trained to be an independent thinker. So let me just kind of go through this real quick to kind of show you where it all came from. So listen, this is from March 6th. Listen.
Dude,
You've been flagged.
Yep, I've been flagged. But if I were going to be a betting man, I would wager on the.
Hold on real quick. Let me fix this. Let me fix it. I almost messed it up because I want to get this right. Because obviously I'm finna go through this history, and this history gonna say a lot. So he said if he was a betting man, let's go back. Here we go.
But if I were going to be a betting man, I would wager on the Cowboys' first 3 picks in the draft just after talking to some people out there.
So he said after talking to some people out there, and if I was a betting man, This Bobby Belt was talking about him at the combine. Okay, so just listen.
It's some combination, some order, cornerback, running back, and pass catcher. Whether that's a receiver or a tight end, somebody to help stretch the field, somebody to contribute in the passing game. The only one that might be able to, a dark horse candidate that could kind of disrupt that trio of picks as positions that they'd be targeting would be offensive line to me. But I don't think we're going to see a linebacker. I don't think this is going to be defensive line. Obviously we've talked about how early would they potentially address quarterback. I don't think they'd take a quarterback in the first 3 rounds. The thing that really struck me, specifically why I say pass catcher, is because the team has a ton of confidence in Peyton Hendershot and Jake Ferguson. There's no...
Y'all hear this? Listen.
Specifically why I say pass catcher is because the team has a ton of confidence in Peyton Hendershot and Jake Ferguson. There's no doubt about it. They're really happy with how they performed last year. But the Cowboys are clearly interested in the tight ends. Jerry spoke about the advantage of having a really dynamic tight end, specifically brought up Travis Kelce as a guy that, man, you see what that does to them. In fact, he said if you had the option of the best, like the most dynamic receiver or the most dynamic tight end, that you'd probably want to take the tight end.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? If you had the choice between the most dynamic receiver or the most dynamic tight end, you would probably go with the tight end. See, that's that what I'm talking about right there. Let me play it again.
Like the most dynamic receiver or the most dynamic tight end, that you'd probably want to take the tight end.
I agree. And he said, I agree. I agree. Do you agree? Do you agree? Do you agree with that? See, because that's the type of stuff you hear over and over. And you hear it every year. I agree. If you got a choice between the most dynamic tight end and the most dynamic receiver, I'm going with the tight end. I want you to think about history. In history, what type? Okay, if you had, what's the coldest tight end you could think of right now? I want to see some else. I'm looking at the chat, and I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell you as a cornerback, I totally disagree with that, because I used to go against tight ends. They was the easiest cover every time. Receivers was what was scary, never a tight end. And let's just keep listening though. Listen. So I see y'all saying Kelce. I see some people saying Grump. So let me ask you a question. So who would you probably be scared of? Grunk, Kelce, or Randy Moss, or Jerry Rice? Who would you be scared of? Hill? Huh? But see, they say this, and it's like it put a spell on people. It's like, and when you hear it over and over, and they put that spell on you, and you sitting up here hearing it, everybody saying the same things, you start believing it. They done put a spell on you. They done hypnotize you. They saying it over and over. You keep hearing the same thing over and over. Next thing you know, you repeating it. And it's honestly goofy. It's goofy, and it's against history, and it's against common sense. So what did Dallas do when we played Kansas City? And it worked. What did we do? What did we do? Let me go pull them up. I ain't have them in the presentation. Y'all should know. What did we do? Yeah. See, because I'm going to tell, yeah, we put Jerron Curse on him. Shut him down. Yeah. And it worked. And it worked. And the league, I'm going to get to that. I don't want to go ahead of myself. But let me tell y'all what I think is going on. I'm just keeping it real. I think people are being hypnotized by hearing this propaganda stuff over and over. They keep hearing the same message over and over, and they don't even realize that it's full of contradictions when you really break it down. So propaganda, information, ideas, opinions, or images often only given one part of the argument that are broadcast, published, or in some way spread with the intention of influencing people's opinion. Propaganda. That's what's going on tight end, because it don't make no sense. So let's just keep listening. Listen, because it gets worse.
And it makes sense because it is a mismatch. Safeties, linebackers, guys like that. You're not putting corners on these tight ends.
You hear that? It's a mismatch. It's a mismatch. It makes sense because it's a mismatch. We gonna hear the same thing next year too. Trust me. You gonna hear this same wee-woo next year. It's gonna be the same wee-woo every year. Same thing. It makes sense because it's a mismatch. It makes sense because it's a mismatch.
Probably want to take the tight end.
I agree.
And it makes sense because it is a mismatch. Safeties, linebackers, guys like that. You're not putting corners on these tight ends. The size, the athleticism, the different things they can do there is a serious advantage. And the Cowboys were meeting with several tight ends while they were out there. Dalton Kincaid from Utah. Luke Schoonmaker from while they were out there. Dalton Kincaid from Utah. Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan while they were out there. Dalton Kincaid from Utah. Luke Schoonmaker from while they were out there. Dalton Kincaid from Utah. Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan.
Y'all know your boy Boss go investigate. So it looked like to me that the Dallas Cowboys are falling for the Trance too. Just keeping it real. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm with you on this argument. We can have this argument. I will open up the phones. But it sounds like they into this trance as well. Believe in that. This mismatch stuff, all right? So this mismatch stuff don't make no sense. I'm going to be all the way honest with you, okay? It don't make no sense. And I'm going to show you exactly why. Do y'all remember? Okay, let's keep going. Check this out. See, I'm finna really show you right now. So check this out. Do y'all remember my boy Dave Helm? All right. Now, watch this. Listen.
Give me 2 or 3 hot college draft opinions that you feel pretty good about. A player or a team or a move or just something you feel good about.
Well, we talked about one of them when I first got here, and that's we beat this into the ground. I think the Cowboys need another receiver. Even if Michael Gallup is back healthy, I think they need another receiver. And I don't think this is the year. This isn't the year that CeeDee Lamb falls to you, and this isn't the year, which ironically, because Jalen Tolbert didn't do anything last year, but last year it was like, well, you can find a guy in round 3. Like, this class is loaded. I don't think this is the year to try to play that game, which is why, Arizona Cardinals, what do you want for DeAndre Hopkins? That type of thing. Like, I think you're much better off. This is the year where I think you're better off trying to find proven production over draft hunting.
You think he has anything left?
Yes. Yeah. He's 31?
Yep.
And I'm not asking him to be the centerpiece of my offense. I'm asking him to be a competent 2/2.5. Absolutely, I think he's. And what? Is he? He's got like 2 years left on his deal?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm asking him to be competent for 2 more seasons. I think you can do that for sure.
All right.
So he warming up. Now he getting ready to get into it. Now it's getting ready to get greasy. Listen, it's good though. It's good. But it's going to uncover some stuff. Listen.
Other prospects that you like or don't like? Like Carolina moving up for CJ Stroud.
Bijan.
Shut up. No, actually, I don't know if it's up yet, but we put out a mock on Fox Sports this morning, like a free agency mock. Like, okay, some of the big moves have happened. What does that mean for the draft? I think I feel better about what might be available to the Cowboys on defense. Even though, like, all...
You know, I'm not just asking all Cowboy questions.
Boy, that boy Dave Hillman in his bag, ain't he? Woo-wee.
No, I know, but
Just any
that's...
player, yeah.
Well, that's what I that's what I guess I fixate on. But I think the more intriguing talent in the back end of the first round, like, of course, quarterbacks are going to drive the narrative, and then there's some pretty good offensive tackles in this class, but, like, I'm way more excited about the defensive options, I think, that are available, like, outside the top 10. Like, do you think I'm crazy for thinking that?
No, I still, at this point, think there's a good chance that
And we end up getting Mozzie. Dave Hillman, I see you.
the player I want to pick at 26 is a tight end.
Oh. See, I heard that, and I don't like it. I don't like that.
Have you watched tight ends yet? Any of them?
I watched Dalton Kincaid the other day.
Not a fan?
I think he looks like a college tight end.
Ooh.
See, thank God. I'm going to keep going because it get good. It get even better. Thank God some people starting to wake up from the trance. That's what's happening. There's some people starting to wake up from the trance, the tight end trance. See, because I also went deep and broke down Kincaid. And I looked at his game where he had 200 yards. On paper, it looked amazing. But when you go watch that game and know what you're looking at, he basically picked them apart with option routes. A majority of his success was just like what used to happen with Dalton Schultz, where he used to find them soft spots in the zone, sit there, turn around like a point forward, and just catch these very gimme passes. No major athleticism, no having to get 2 toes in the ground, even though he did make 2 big catches that game. I'm going to give him credit. He made some real big catches that game, right? But a majority of what he did was option routes that even when they was watching, when the game was going on, they said an 8th grader could do it. So just, I'm going to come back to David Hellman, but listen, so you'll see I ain't playing. Like he said, he looked like a college tight end. He was keeping it real. He ain't, because he ain't falling for that wee-woo. He ain't falling for the trance of hearing automatic mismatch. Yeah, too big for corners. Too fast for linebackers. You know, they faster than a speeding bullet. He was like, nah, he looked like a college tight. Listen.
Back to the drawing board. Gets it out for Kincaid. And it's a first down for Utah. Dalton Kincaid night continues.
Yeah, they are piercing this zone like a USC sword.
He said they are piercing this zone like a USC sword. Y'all heard that? Yeah, he was talking about Kincaid.
I mean, this is easy. The last one right over the
This is easy.
ball. This is just a little option route. There are some amazing plays these 2 QBs have made. And then there are opportunities like that that an 8th grader can make.
That an 8th grader could make. So, and see, I'm sick of it, bro. I'm being all the way honest. I'm sick of it. That's why I'm doing a show on it, because I really do wholeheartedly feel that my Dallas Cowboys are falling for the wee-woo. And I think they are falling for the groupthink, where they're thinking like Bobby, who was like, if you got your most dynamic receiver and your most dynamic tight end, I'm going with the tight end. You know, and I'm telling you from somebody who have to defend them, bro. From somebody who had to defend them, tight ends never crossed my mind as a threat, ever. When I saw a tight end and read the scouting report and I saw 4'6", 4'7", I was like, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. This dude ain't finna do nothing. Yeah. So you got these dudes that broke down his best game and was like, in his best game, USC is piercing that zone. See, that's why you got to break this stuff down, bro, because or they'll be giving you that. Because what was they saying about Kincaid, though? He get open. He get separation. He do all of this. It ain't even true, bro. Then when you go actually listen to the game and watch the game and you listen to the commentary, they actually saying, man, this dude wasn't doing nothing what we used to see my boy Schultz do. Nothing but some old Hot Pockets all day. And they take Hot Pocket production and they try to make it sound like it's receiver production. No, sir. That is wee-woo. And see, somebody got to tell you, because everybody ain't going to tell you. Some people go still co-sign it. I ain't going to co-sign it. I'm going to give it one more year. I mean that. I'm going to give it literally one more year. I'm going to put it like this. If all these tight ends that was hyped to heaven fall to hell again, I'm going to be unrelenting next year. Because see, I already showed y'all this multiple times. That people, and see, it was goofy for Dallas to give a tag to Schultz and let Amari go. But when you believe the wee-woo that Bobby Bell talking about, that weird wee-woo that these dump-off tight ends are more valuable than real athletic beast receivers, then you will be watching this team do weird stuff like let the athlete go, Amari, and keep the role player Schultz. So at this point, if I love this team, I got to start speaking against this because it's starting to make us do weird stuff. Because see, this is the second time we've done something weird. See, I know y'all gonna talk about that red score. I'm gonna talk about that red score too, because that red score is something that's also goofy. See, you know you ain't really got nothing when the only thing people talking about is your red score. See, when did we ever get to a point to where we bragging on your? Because see, it's crazy how, if you just think about it, old wisdom just go to trash sometime. Like, we used to say, I don't get too big on underwear Olympics. That's what we used to say. But now, everybody talking about, but boss, look at this RAS score. Ha 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 ha. That was a good pick. Look at his score, boss. You didn't think of that, did you? You had no idea his RAS score was better than Pitt's, did you? We got us a sleeper, boss. You just not in the know. You need to come up to what football is really about. The RAS score. He is the next Pitts. Nah, bruh. I ain't falling for that wee-woo. You can keep it. So now let me go back to David Helby, though, because David was cooking. Let me go back to David real quick, because David was, boy, he was cooking. But I just wanted to show y'all that, man, this dude was getting out. Kincaid was getting that stuff with option routes, but they made it, when they sold him, they made it seem like he was out there just beating people with his feet like receivers do. Like, nah, bro. He said, what did he say? They are piercing this zone apart. The same stuff we saw from Schultz. What was Schultz doing? Piercing this zone apart. Look at these concepts. It's gonna take all this film to finally get it right here. This is one-on-one coverage. This is actually good by Schultz. I give him that one. That was nice. He beat that dude. That was a good route, and he took a hit. But the rest of this stuff is mostly him going into them pockets, sitting down. Ain't nothing special about this stuff, man. Getting leaked out and they dumping it off to you. That's hot pocket, man. Come on, man. Nah. And you not gonna sell me like that's just some major playmaking. I ain't gonna let you do it. That's why I say, man, this is like a trance on people. It's like it's a spell. You know, it's like everybody keeps saying the same stuff and it don't make sense. But let me keep going real quick. I got to keep going because David Hellman, he was really, really, really cooking. Here we go.
That's mean.
He was mocked to them.
Did you watch Musgrave yet?
Luke Musgrave
At Oregon State.
Yeah, all 40 of his catches.
Yeah.
Woo! Boy, you got Dave Hellman messed up. He is like, I'm not falling for this wee-woo propaganda you trying to spit to me. Yeah, all 40.
Yes. Yeah. So what? So what?
See, listen to him. See, he know he talking silly. So what? So what?
Did you watch Musgrave yet
Luke Musgrave.
at Oregon State?
Yeah, all 40 of his catches.
Yes. Yeah. So
you're-
what? So what?
With that,
So what? So what? Yeah, so what? Why you hyping up 40 catches?
that's what do you mean? So what?
I'll
That's
take the
terrifying.
Mitch Trubisky.
You heard Dave? What do you mean, so what? That's terrifying. See, Dave ain't in that matrix. He ain't falling for that spell. He ain't falling for that spell they be trying to put on you, where they keep saying the same thing over and over. He's like, what you mean? Dave out there, boy. Dave out there preaching. Y'all got Dave all the way messed up. Preach it to him, Dave. He ain't listening.
Ski production.
I'm
For a
one
guy
year
who's a
wonder.
stud.
It was,
Yes, at 26, yes.
I think our buddy John Machota mocked Kincaid to them the other day, which I'm not saying they're not good players. I am saying that the number of tight ends that can help you in the NFL right away is very small. And I don't.
Y'all heard what he said? See, he talking facts. See, this is actual facts coming out of David Hellman's mouth. This ain't wee-woo. He said the chances of them coming out and helping you immediately is very small. Should I show you year one of people with gold jackets? Should I show you that? Should I show you Witten year one? Should I show you Greg Elson year one? Should I show you? I'm going to show you. Because forget talking. I ain't with the talking. I'm not with the BS. Let's prove it with the facts. I'm sick of it. And I'm talking just like David on facts. Not this spell talk. Not this old BS saying the same thing over and over. And we be falling for it like some big old dummies. Propaganda. So here we go. Let's look at Dallas Clark. Dallas Clark, Hall of Famer. Okay. Let's go look. Year one, Dallas Clark, 340 yards. Wow. Wow, that's scary. Okay. Wow. And we know what he became. He became a beast. But what did David say? Initially, you generally don't get that production out of tight ends. Okay, this is just one, boss. You're nitpicking, boss. Boss, you're being a nitpicker. You're being negative. Okay, let's look at Greg Olsen. Let's look at Greg Olsen. Okay. Greg Olsen, year one. Where my button? He did 391 yards with a lot of targets. 66. But see, y'all trying to sell me. This is what y'all trying to say. Boss, have some faith. Schoonmaker's go come in here. He go do 800 yards, boss. I'm like, temper your expectations. He might, but I tell you what, if he do, he's gonna do what a whole lot of Cowboys have not done, bro. And a whole lot of tight ends. And I'm talking about great tight ends. Let's keep going. What about Vernon Davis? We know what he became. A monster. Oh, yeah. Let's see how he started. 265 yards. Yeah. 3 touchdowns. And these were first rounders. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, how do I see the opposite of what Bobby Belt is saying, but then agree with him? I'm not gonna let y'all put me under that spell because you saying it over and over. I ain't gonna start repeating you because and that's the spell that you're trying to put on me. You keep because it's popular. And see, let me tell you why. But see, I got so many facts. Let me keep going. What about Mark Andrews? Mark Andrews, should we start with him? Not bad. 552 with 50 targets. But is that really game changing for year one? No. That's pretty normal. And remember, Baltimore is one of the only teams that aggressively features their tight ends, and he still, his first year, got only 552 yards. See, I know y'all trying to tell me, boss, have some faith, boss. Be positive. Look at this RAS score, boss. Boss, look at this RAS score. He's going to come in here in 2023. He's going to do 1,000 yards. He's going to be an automatic mismatch, boss. You don't know football. He's too big for corners. He's too athletic for tight ends, boss. Learn football. The whole time I'm over here like,
oh, hell no.
Like, nah, bro. Yeah. And then y'all think he gonna do that as tight end too? No. It ain't gonna happen. George Kittle. $515 yards with a lot of targets. 63 targets. Yeah. Yeah, you right. You right, C. You right. You right. My boy C, because actually that is good. That's not 1-1. It's one of them that's actually not 1-1. That Andrews was not 1-1. You right. See, you right. Let me reverse that. That still was exceptional what Andrews did. Okay. So I'm gonna be balanced on that. I'm not gonna shoot down stuff that's exceptional. So let me show my partner comment real quick. My boy C, give me a second. C, let me show you comment. Because when y'all tell the truth, I ain't gonna fight you. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be right here. Let me show C comment. Give me a second. I accidentally deleted something that allows me to pull up y'all social media comments. Give me 1 second. Let me just cue it back up because I want to show C's comment. It's a good comment. It's a fair comment. And when y'all fair, I'm gonna rock with what's fair. Okay. I ain't trying to brainwash people and make them go with me. Because, yeah, Mark Andrews, that was exceptional. 500 yards on 50 targets. That actually is exceptional. That is. It's because of the targets. Hold on real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. So y'all seeing what I got to go through behind the scenes. So that's what you're seeing right now. This is what I got to go through behind the scenes. So y'all give me 1 second. I'm just trying to pull up C comment. There it is. So C, there it is. C, yeah. You holding me accountable, and that's true. Okay. So that Mark Andrews, I will give that year. I will give that year an exception for one of these rookies. Because that's good. 500 yards on 50 targets. Yeah, that's pretty much burning it up. That is. So I'm gonna give Andrews credit. Okay. So out of most of those tight ends, I count Andrews as one that I would say is a very good rookie year. Then let's go look at Travis Kelce. So if I go look at Travis Kelce, he also was very exceptional, not as a rookie, but as a sophomore. That's a fantastic year as a sophomore. 87 targets, 862 yards. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So what we saying then is what we hoping for Schoonmaker, right? We're hoping for Schoonmaker to be a Kelce or Kittle. That's what we hoping for. Okay? And it's possible because those rookies had some good years. And I'm not going to call Kittle, not Kittle, I'm not going to call Kelsey a rookie because it was his sophomore year, it was his second year, but he did turn up. All right? So, don't be goofy, Dro. Don't be goofy, bro. Don't be goofy. You being goofy right now. He said, your argument still has confirmation bias. You're just finding stats to support your argument. No, what I'm actually doing is I'm looking at all the best tight ends, and I'm looking at tight ends that had gold jackets. I tell you what, Dro, you pick the tight end and we'll go look at them. You pick it. Pick who you want and we go look at their rookie year. And see, how am I looking for confirmation bias when I just admitted that C was right when he said that Andrews had a good year, boss? And I said, hold on, you right. See, some of y'all saying I'm looking for confirmation bias. Some of y'all looking for a reason to drink Kool-Aid. And y'all want to just have illogical optimism. You want to hope against hope. That's how you fan, and that's okay. But to say that I'm trying to be biased, go ahead, Dro. You pick the tight ends, and I'm going to pull them up on the spot. And any one of y'all can do that. Pick the tight end, and I'll pull them up. And let's look at them as a rookie. Since I'm making stuff up. Because I've already talked to about eight tight ends. I got about 8 more I'm going to talk about. So why don't y'all start putting... Somebody said Grunt. Well, let's look up Grunt. I'm going to do it live. All right, y'all say Grunt. And I don't know what Grunt did as a rookie. Hold on real quick. Let me look it up, though. So I'm going to look it up. All right, let me see. So this was Dallas Clark. Let's pull up my boy Grunt. All right, so we got Rob. Gold jacket Rob. What did he do year one? He balled out. That's a good year too. Because that's even above Andrews. That's above Andrews. So we got Grunt, Andrews, and Kelsey, all the 3 that had good year ones. And see, you can call this good because of the targets. If you only get 59 targets, but yet you still have 546 yards, that's good. That's a good year. Because that means if you double the targets, you likely go double that production, which you also saw in some of their years. So his second year, when they doubled his production, you also saw what? You also saw his production double in yards and obviously touchdowns. So this is what we hoping for. Okay? This is what we hoping for. So basically, this is what I'm gonna just tell y'all what y'all hoping for. But what y'all saying is, hopefully, Schoonmaker is Grunk, Kelsey, and Andrews. That's what y'all saying. Okay? That's what we hoping he is, and that's cool. And if he is, that's great. That's great. He said between Lamb, Cooks, Gallup, Pollard, and Ferguson, that's about 60 targets. Where is Schoonmaker getting targets? I know, bro. I know. I don't see him even getting the targets as tight end too. So, but let me keep going real quick, because see, David Hellman, he was killing it. Let me go back to my boy Dave, because Dave was giving, he said, so what? So what? Listen.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I don't want my first round pick learning like how to block and how to be useful in 12 and 13 personnel over the course of his rookie season.
Does it resonate with you at all, or do you think it matters at all that Jerry on his own on the bus brought up and started talking about Travis Kelce and the impact that a Travis Kelce can have on your offense?
Oh, See, that's what a lot of times this stuff be about, that type of stuff. It's not about a lot of times. Hold on, he say, I ain't skipping over your responses, bro. I ain't see your responses. I was actually doing a production. What's your response, bro? What's your response? You brought up another tight end? I want to see your response. What's your response? Hold on. I'm trying to see your response. He said I'm skipping his responses. I don't see no responses, bro. Hold on, let me see. I'm not going to pick a tight end because I understand the fluidity of the offense. So you over here saying you not going to see, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is wee-woo, bro. See, this is how I know some of y'all be fanboys. See, you over here arguing with me, but you saying yourself you wouldn't have picked the tight end. You see, that's that wee-woo, bro. That's that wee-woo. So why you over here arguing with me if you saying you wouldn't have picked the... See, that's that fanboy stuff. You wanna literally fight me like and cape, but you saying yourself you wouldn't have picked the tight end. See, I ain't finna even waste my time, bro. I ain't even finna do it. He said, do Witten, boss. I already got Witten. I got Witten in here. Listen, I'm gonna talk about all them boys. I already got Witten in here. I'm coming to Witten. But hold on real quick. Let me go to Witten right now. I got Jason Witten right here. Y'all asked for Witten. I literally had him already queued up. Here's Witten. Let me show you Witten. Hall of Fame gold jacket Witten coming up. 54 targets, 347 yards. Gold jacket Witten. Yep. And I'm doing what y'all asked. Y'all said pull up Witten. You said pull up Grunk. Pull them right up. I ain't trying to hide nothing. I'm putting it right in your face. Evan Ingram, that's a good one. See, and I'm doing it too. I'm doing it. Y'all asking, I'm doing it. Evan Ingram. Let's do Evan. That's a good one too, because that's a bona fide freak. Evan Ingram. See, Evan Ingram had the most separation in the league. Yeah, he had him a pretty good rookie year. He did. He did. That's a good rookie year right there. 722 yards, 64 receptions, 6 TDs. That's good. But see, keep in mind, which is good for the Cowboys. His coach was also our coach. So yeah, man. So when you look at, that's why I said, and I started it off with good news. I said the good news is that our coach has a good track record of having guys and coaching guys to instantly ball out. I missed the super chat. Okay, hold on. You said do on Antonio Gates. I'm doing it too. I'm doing every one of these. Yeah, so here we go. All right, Antonio Gates. I got you. We ain't pulling no punches over here, man. We ain't trying to slant this in a direction. We letting the data speak. Hold on. Antonio. Damn. There it is. Antonio Gates. All right, let's look at Antonio Gates. This is an easy womp womp. Yeah, that's a womp womp. That's a womp womp. Yeah, that's a clear womp womp, right? All of us agree that that's for a rookie. Just keeping it real. All right. So the history don't look good for instant impact. For instant impact. See, that's what I'm talking about. Instant impact. So if you saying he go be good, you probably right. He probably go be good into the future. You probably right. My thing is, with how aggressive we was in free agency, was this a pick for the future or was this a pick to try to go over the hump? It was a clear pick for the future. Because if you're trying to go over the hump, this is not the pick. But if you're trying to build for the future, this is a good pick. You know what I'm saying? This is a clear future pick. So, because I'm addressing all the people that's over here like, what happened at 58? For the people that's disappointed at 58, don't let people be mad because you disappointed. Because you was wanting the Dallas Cowboys to do something aggressive. More aggressive, because this was not aggressive. This was good. This was smart. This was the guy they believed in. But if you saying this was aggressive for a contending team, you lying. And you are caping for the Cowboys. You have been a caper. You put on your cape and you came to defend the Dallas Cowboys' honor against anybody that's scratching their head. But let me go back to David Hellman real quick, because I keep getting off of that. But I got to go back to that because it's good. Listen.
No, like, clearly, dude, this is my favorite game to play is like read the tea leaves. And all of y'all, I missed out this year. I had a ton of FOMO, but all y'all went up to Indy and you did your little hobnobbing. And then
poor TV Hellman.
we come.
Yep. See, you see what he talked about? Y'all went up to the combine and y'all did all your hobnobbing. He calling them out. He basically saying, y'all don't really believe that tight end is best for us. What y'all doing is y'all trying to be right on who you think the pick is going to be. Somebody said, you think that tight end pick means Mike McCarthy going to stick around? I think Mike McCarthy go stick around if he have a good season. I think that's what's gonna make Mike McCarthy stick around. I don't think it's just a tight end. I think it's just about how everything comes together. But see, David Hellman was calling him out. He was like, "Oh, I see what's going on. Because you over here trying to sell us that you can see us getting a tight end, but you really trying to be right because you was up there looking at the tea leaves and you was looking at who all the Dallas Cowboys scouts was talking to. That's what you was doing. Listen, he called him out. Listen.
It's full in 12 and 13 personnel over the course of his rookie season.
Does it resonate with you at all, or do you think it matters at all that Jerry on his own on the bus brought up and started talking about Travis Kelce and the impact that a Travis Kelce can have on your offense?
Oh, no. Like, clearly, dude, this is my favorite game to play is like read the tea leaves.
My favorite game to play is read the tea leaves.
And all of y'all, I missed out this year. I had a ton of FOMO, but all of y'all went up to Indy and
all of y'all went up to Indy.
You did your little hobnobbing.
You did your little hobnobbing.
And then
poor TV Hellman.
We come back from the combine and everybody's like, well, you know, there's some good tight ends in this class. And
So for people wondering where all this tight end to Dallas came from, it came from the hobnobbing.
like, okay, somebody was spilling the deets up in Indy that the Cowboys really like all the tight ends. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but
didn't I just show you? That's what Bobby said. Bobby said, if I was to bet, that was the first thing I played. He said, if I was to bet, based on what he was seeing the scouts talking to, and they mentioned Schoon. So a lot of people that's pitching, oh, I believe that it's an automatic mismatch. They don't believe that, bruh. They just want to look like, they just want to be the, I told you. I told you. And Boss just put it together. That's all that happened. I remembered this interview. I remembered that interview, put them together, and here it is. And Bobby laughing because he know he telling the truth. See, this is the worst thing about tight end. That ain't nobody gonna say. I'm gonna tell you this, but ain't nobody else gonna tell you this. The league has caught up to tight end. See, why they still calling them an automatic mismatch? No, they're not. They're not automatic mismatches anymore. Nope. See, back in the day, about 2013, 10 years ago. See, that's when Witten was going against bulkier linebackers, and Witten was eating them up. So was Greg Olsen. So was Vernon Davis. And when they was killing those mismatches, what did the league do to adjust? What are we doing? It's right in your face. What are we doing to adjust to them tight ends? What are we doing? What did we do? We went and got us a who? We got us a hybrid linebacker. And the whole league is doing this. And guess what? It's working. What do we do when we getting ready to play a fierce tight end? What do we do? What does the Dallas Cowboys do? They say, hey, Jerron Kearse, come here. Come here. You see Kelsey? That's your job this week. That's your job. All right? Or we'll go draft a Cox, right? Why do you think we targeted Cox? Because Cox fit the mold. So if you even look at your own Dallas Cowboy team, you can start figuring out why tight end production is way down. Tight end production is down because I'm the only one gonna tell y'all this. You ain't gonna hear this from the wee-woo media. You ain't gonna hear this at all. But tight end has been figured out for at least the last 5 years. I'm telling you. Teams are going to get people like Kearse, and they putting them balls in the box, and they saying sick them. And teams are loading up on them. Loading up. Why do you think we got Jabril Cox? So we got us 3 on one team. We got 3 hybrid linebackers on one team that's perfectly suited to be tight end erasers as well as box safeties, or you can call them big nickels. You can call them what you want, but they doing the same job. So I already know what Overshawn is about. You ain't got to tell me because I already know. I already know. And guess what? It's working. So all that wee-woo that Bobby was talking about, all that, they're automatic mismatches. That's a spell. It's propaganda, and they say it over and over and over, and it'll hypnotize you if you're not careful. And you'll be repeating what's stupid. And let me tell you something else. It's also hypocritical. It's hypocritical. Because think about it. What were some of the tight ends that I talked about? We talked about Andrews, right? We talked about Kittle, right? We talked about Witten. When was they drafted? I'm cool with a challenge. I'm cool with any challenges. One of y'all say y'all can challenge me, I'm cool with that. Because if I'm wrong, just show me where I'm wrong, and then I'll correct it. That makes me better. But check this out. When was Andrews drafted? Let me look. I'm going to put it in y'all face. Hold on real quick. Let me look at this. Hold on. Let me look at this. So hold on. Let me go look. Travis Kelce. All right. When was he drafted? 3rd round. Okay. When was Kittle drafted? It's right here. 5th round. Okay. Saying okay. 5th round. Okay. Let's look at Mark Andrews. Let's see when he was drafted. 3rd round. Okay, 3rd round, 5th round, 3rd round. Do you hear them talk like they talk about running backs with tight ends? I'm for real. I'm for real. Do y'all hear that anywhere? Huh? Because, see, I know what y'all hear, and I know what I hear about running back. I know what I hear every year. You don't need a running back in the 1st round. you can get that same type of production out the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. Don't we hear that every year? Boss, can you look up Shannon Sharp? Can you tell me if he ever played wide receiver for anybody? You also, yeah, I'll go ahead. This gonna be my last one I look up because I want to keep up with my presentation. This gonna be my last one, Shannon Sharp. But see, y'all got me doing research on the spot though. I'm going with what y'all say. We keeping this presentation organic. So they have him listed as a tight end, but he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. Not his first 2 years. He really started to kind of get on the move by year 3. To answer your question. But going back to what I was saying, what do you hear every year with running backs? What do you hear every year? It's no need to get a running back in the first round. Why does that logic not apply to tight end? When the evidence is clear that your best tight ends in history are not first rounders. We ain't talking about a recent trend. We talking about a long trend. The last time you probably really had a tight end break out and go crazy was Pitts. And see, I can show you something about Pitts that'll shock you. Because you know I looked at all the data. I ain't playing no games with y'all today. You know the funniest thing about Pitts, if you really look close, most of Pitts' success when he was a rookie was when he was split out. Not on the line of scrimmage. When he was off ball. So even Pitts played better when used like a receiver. I got it right here. Yeah, it's right here. See, cause I need to probably make it bigger. Let me try to make it bigger. Cause see, they show all the percentages in PFF. They show it, you know what I mean? Where you can look at the slot percentages right here. He was 44% in the slot. He was also 27% out wide. So even when you talk about his production was more so based on using him like a receiver. And so just think, but I'm talking about the spells, the propaganda that we fall for. You know what I mean? That we fall for. We fall for this stuff. We keep hearing it over and over. So isn't it like, look at this year. Did they have any problem pushing up Mayer, Kincaid? No. It was no problem pushing it up. So why does the narrative fit on one group, but it applies more so to the other group? And the Dallas Cowboys, I really believe, have fallen for the propaganda. You know why I believe that? Look at how they talked about Zeke last week. What did they say about Zeke last week? They asked him, would you have drafted him that high? They was like, no. Goofy. See, that's how you know they falling for the groupthink. And see, groupthink is real. It's very real. Groupthink, where you start hearing stuff so much that it starts shaping your thinking, it's a real thing. See, every year before I write the Boss Cowboy Guide, do you know what I do every year without fail? Without fail, you know what the first thing I do is I turn off all media. When I'm in research mode, I don't listen to nobody. I don't listen to my favorite YouTubers. I don't listen to my favorite NFL network opinions. I don't read no other guides. The only thing I do is go to a dark place, look for myself, come up with my own ranks based on what I see. And then I come out because I don't want to be affected by the groupthink. I do it every year. So when I came out, I was thinking different than everybody. When I came out and I came from the mountain like Moses, he said Shannon drafted by Broncos first 2 years was a wide receiver. Appreciate that, Mickey. Keep us right. But when I come down from the mountain like Moses and I was like, Jefferson is my number one receiver, everybody looked at me like, what? You don't have Lamb over him? I'm like, no. I have Jefferson, my number one. Boss, what do you mean? Nobody has Jefferson that high. Nobody, boss. It's like, I do. I'm putting him in the book that way. Taylor. I call Taylor a top 15 talent. The media and the scouting community was calling Taylor a second or third rounder. Am I saying I'm always right? No, but I guarantee I'm right more than them. I guarantee you that. If you go check off who I said was go hit in the book, and you go look and you check it off, and you can count my misses too. You can count that. Count the misses, count my hits. You could be like, boy, you hit. And you could be like, you missed, because I can tell you some I missed on. I did miss on some. I did. I can tell you the ones too. I was looking through the guide today. I was like, boy, you missed on this. But on some of them, I was like, boy, you hit. But see, I myself get away from what everybody's saying so that I can think for myself, so I can really be pure in my analysis. So y'all check this out. This is when it get real good. So y'all check this out. Here we go. Listen to this. Listen.
On 105.3 The Fan. Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing very well, thanks.
So, Coach, we were really intrigued by the video you did with the 33rd team last week, just kind of breaking down Dak's interception problem, something that was, it felt like really unique.
Hold on real quick.
Here on 105.
Hold on.
He's splitting defenders with his throat. He's expecting.
See your play caller. What does that mean?
Hold on real quick. I gotta find it.
If you go for two and you don't have a good 2-point play, why would you do?
An OC. How do you view that with so much breakdown? We're all Madden experts now, right? Playing the video game. We can manage the clock and the timeouts. How much is lost when you're calling the plays too?
Well, you're so intimately involved. As for a touchdown, they called it back.
Involved in the intimate details of the
talking about. He can watch out there and adjust. You know, he knows.
At least I can't figure out why. Like, what's your take on Lamar?
He's in the place where he needs to be in Baltimore because they.
And as an offensive guru, explain what this phrase means. Calling plays versus managing the game as the OC or play caller. What does that mean?
Well, they should be the same. Should be the same thing. You know, you have to get a feel for the game. If your defense is struggling a little bit, then, you know, you're going to have to kind of change what you do as well. So I just think that as I watch the draft and everything over the last 10 years.
Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Listen. I found it. Thank y'all for being patient. Listen, because now we can get to the nitty gritty. Here we go. Listen.
Call plays accordingly. You can't just go in and just call plays. I mean, I never did that. You just got to get a feel, you know, as you're watching the defense and knowing the situation. If your defense is struggling a little bit, then conversely, you're going to have to be careful that you're not just turning that ball back over to them. You know, all those good things. You know, you have to know as much about your defensive game plan as, you know, what you're going to do on offense. And then when you get into the game, the flow of it, you know, if they're hitting some balls and, you know, you're going to have to kind of change what you do as well. So I just think that the guys that adjust the best as play callers during the game that can change gears, those are the really great ones.
Coach, how would you approach the running game in today's NFL?
Well, I think they've done a really good job of spreading things out. The one thing that I do know.
He said they've done a good job of what? Spreading things out. And he said, there's one thing I do know. Listen.
As I watch the draft and everything over the last 10 years.
You watched the draft over the last 10 years. So what did you notice, Michael Marks?
Those linebackers have gotten smaller, looking at more athletic guys.
Those linebackers have gotten smaller. They're more athletic guys.
We used to put a big 280, 290-pound tight end back there at fullback and do some lead stuff, and I promise you I would do that. I'd just go and splatter those guys. And
I promise I would do that. To just go splatter those guys.
Come downhill as much as you can with it because they're just not prepared for it. Guys,
He said, and come downhill as much as possible because teams are not prepared for it.
The defenses, there's too many system type things and not enough details. I would really play smash mouth downhill with big guys, and
I will play smash mouth with big guys.
make them play it.
Make them play it. Make them play it. Make them play it. Make them play it. So we talking football right here. See, the whole time I played all that to say tight end has been caught up to. I'm telling y'all. Now they go tell you that it's not. But no, it's been caught up to. He said over the last 10 years, right? Let me go look at Jason Witten real quick. Let me go test this theory with Jason Witten. Let me go just test it. Let's just look. He said the last 10 years is 2023, right? So 2013. So, and look, Witten was rolling from 2017 all the way to 2012. Witten was rolling. 1145, 952, 1030, 1002, 942, 1039. Then in 2013, it took a dip. 851, 703, 713, 673, 560. Some of that is age, obviously, because he was getting older, right? Some of that was age. But I also believe a lot of that was what was happening in the league, and it matches perfectly what Mike said. Am I tripping? Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? I don't think I'm tripping. Let me go look at some other line. I'm gonna look at some other older tight ends, and I'm gonna try to see if I see a trend like that with other tight ends. So this is Greg Olsen. So Greg Olsen, looked like he was cooking. He didn't stop cooking. He been cooking. So look, so 2013, he had 816, then he had 1008, 1104. Hold on real quick. 1073, then he fell off a cliff. I don't know why. So let me go look at Vernon Davis. Because I'm trying to see if it's a trend, right? That's all I'm doing. I'm looking at the trend. Because he was talking about for the last 10 years, right? So this is the deal, just kind of looking at tight end production, right? Especially with these good ones. He said, DeShannon said, boss, thank you for your work. I've been waiting for this show since Cowboys drafted Luke, and you know how much I like this tight end. Yep, I know you love him. So this the deal. And I'm just looking at it, and I'm just keeping it real. So this is when I look at the trends, right? And I look at these tight ends production, especially when you look at first round production, in my opinion, it looked like exactly what he's saying is exactly what I'm saying. You know, that the league has built a whole lot of tweener linebackers to try to stop the Wittens, the Greg Olsens, the Mark Andrews. They had to stop it. But see, this also lends itself to an opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys. We have a chance, and to what Mike said, that also could mean why Schoonmaker might make sense. See, This is why Schoonmaker, Mike, what did Mike say? He said, what I would do is I'll go get one of these 240-pound tight ends, and I would just go splash them dudes. See, from that, he makes sense. At least the idea. I got to go do my research. I got to go make sure that he really got that real killer mentality, because I don't want to fall for no wee-woo. I want to see it with my own eyes. You know what I mean? But what we could be doing with Schoonmaker is what Mike Marks talked about. So what could be happening is this, and I'm just keeping it real. Some of us could be looking for passing production, and that might not be the goal of Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy might be looking to go in there and smash balls in their mouth. Now that's rich for a second rounder. But if you feel like that's the guy to get it done and you feel confident that he go do it, all right, cool. Cool. Now, if you not splashing people with him next year, it's goofy. Hold on real quick. Let me go back. Because listen to what he said. Listen to what he said. Listen.
Play callers during the game that can change gears.
Listen.
Those are the really great ones.
Coach, how would you approach the running game in today's NFL?
Well, I think they've done a really good job of spreading things out. The one thing that I do know is I watch the draft and everything over the last 10 years. Those linebackers have gotten smaller, looking at more athletic guys. We used to put a big 280, 290-pound tight end back there at fullback.
See, he's not 280. See, that's the only thing. See, I was trying to see if Schoonmaker matched what he was talking about. Now, he talking about going real big. Listen.
Back and do some lead stuff, and I promise you I would do that. Just go and splatter those guys and come downhill as much as you can with it.
And see, Chris, my boy Chris say, and I'm with you, Chris. My boy Chris say, all tight ends are potential mismatches. I don't think they are, Chris. I'm just being honest with you. I don't. I think that's an old theory that's being repeated over and over, and it's not true. Because if we look, especially at the history of tight ends, especially recent history of tight ends, it is very womp-womp. O.J. Howard, David Njoku, Evan Ingram, T.J. Hawkinson, Noah Fant, none of them as first rounders played up to the hype they was given. Not one. Kyle Pitts even looking like he going downhill. The recent history of tight ends don't look like they automatic mismatch. The best one would have been Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is probably the only one that was truly a mismatch because he actually had 4.4 speed, and he had good feet and agility, and he used to average 4 yards of separation per target. So I think you gotta be a special athlete to be a special mismatch. But people trying to sell me that 4.8s and 4.7s and 4.6s is going to separate, I'm like,
oh, hell no.
I ain't believing it. And because they say it every year, but it doesn't, for the most part, pan out how it was sold. Keeping it real. So even if I go look at, I already did this. Go look at last year. Trey McBride. Trey McBride had over 1,000 yards in college his senior year with 90 catches. If anybody looked like they was at the bottom of the first type of dude, it was Trey. Trey McBride last year was one of my number one tight ends by far. I'm talking about he had some block game. He was going vertical. He was eating up college like Pac-Man. Used to eat up them dots. That boy Trey was a dog. I mean, I was like, oh, I used to love watching this dude film. And then Trey hit the league. Where's the automatic mismatch? This is rookie year. Where is it? I don't see it. I thought they was automatic. I thought you just draft one of these dudes and they gonna be too big for corners. They gonna be too fast for bulky tight ends. Really? Okay. So let's look at, all right, what about Greg? He was my number 2. Where's the automatic mismatch? Where's the super production? Oh, he need a quarterback? Okay. A lot of Dallas Cowboys love Jelani. They loved him. And see, this is the thing. I ain't trying to fall for this no more. Cause see, I'm gonna prove that a lot of this stuff is just pure goofy. Goofy. And we literally gotta sometimes pause and think about what's been sold to us and say, does this make sense? Or are they trying to hypnotize me with some BS? Are they trying to hypnotize me and say the same things over and over and over until I start repeating it like a big old, I ain't gonna say, well. Let me give you one of the perfect examples of why I say, and I mean this, stat nerds are hurting football. Look at this. Boss, look at his RAS score, boss. Boss, you haven't done your research. You didn't know his RAS score. See, that's what the Cowboys were looking at. They was looking at his RAS score. Bro, this the only thing I can tell you. Just keeping it real. The fact that this RAS score has Luke more athletic than Cal means you should throw the RAS away. I mean that. I mean that. That is goofy. I don't care how much you like our guy. And Schoon might be a dog. But athletically, are you kidding me? Boss. But boss is RAS score, boss. You don't know football, boss. Let's break it down, like for real. The RAS score, if you look at it, is clearly flawed. Extremely flawed. It's clearly flawed. If you just look at it and let's just use our common sense. So, both of them got long arms around the same size. Both of them are right around the same in terms of height. Luke is 251. Cal is 245. And you telling me that one difference is why We talking about 6 pounds is what separated them athletically. 6 pounds. I can literally eat a burger and get 5 pounds on me, bro. I really could. That's goofy. They pretty much the same weight, but they almost have totally different scores, and they super knock Kyle Pitts for only being 6 pounds less. See, and that's why I was saying, stat nerds and stat stuff like this, it overrates stuff that's not important. 6 pounds, athletic. It's a big difference. 6 pounds. Ha! You're such an athlete because of the 6 pounds. Goofy, man. That is goofy. Just come on, man. I'm just using my common sense. This is goofy. That is goofy. All right, so let me look at it even closer. So you got a bench press score from Kyle Pitts, but you don't even have a bench press score for Luke, but yet he's still higher than Kyle Pitts. How do you have nothing for Luke, but you at least got something out of Cal, but yet Kyle Pitts has still a worse score? And okay, now if it was me and I'm trying to weigh an athlete, to me, your speed and your separation is gonna be one of the most important things, right? Just thinking out loud, right? Your shuttle 3-cone, all of that is more so an indication of how you could be on the field, because if you got a faster time in your 3-cone and your shuttle, that also means you change direction better, and that change of direction skill set should be weighted higher when you're comparing tight ends. So how does Pitt have a better 3-cone, a better shuttle, a better 40, a better 20? Okay, his 20 split is not as good. Okay. And this is weird. Let me look at I'm looking at this. How in the hell? Okay. This is getting even crazier. So you got a 4.63 with Luke Schoonmaker, but you got a 4.4 with Kyle Pitts, but you only have about a 0.8 difference in score. Do y'all know how different a 4.4 is from a 4.6? And y'all only got an 8 difference. See, this whole RAS stuff, like, not when I really look at it and break it down, I'm like, why would I go by this as a reason to draft somebody? Boss, did you see his RAS score? Boss. Yeah. So Cal had a better 20 split, a better 10 split, a better. Okay, his shuttle wasn't as good. Okay. And his 3-cone wasn't as good. So those are the differences. So that does make sense. That part does make sense. That part. That bottom part makes sense. Because I was just saying that if you have a better shuttle, that's an indication of you potentially being able to separate. Because you able to change directions better. But to me, it should be mixed with a higher weight on your speed. Because you changing direction with 4.6 speed, that's easier to do versus somebody who changing direction with 4.4 speed. So it still don't make sense. Just don't make sense. So yeah, I can get caught up into that, man. The boss, the rest. Man, boss, did you see his rest? So this the deal. This is what I'm gonna say about the pick. Is this big shoes? And hopefully, let me tell you what I think is a realistic expectation for him. Okay? Because I don't want to be the one that's putting more pressure on him than he deserves. Okay? To me, a real expectation from him should be, in my opinion, for a rookie, I think 400 yards and 3 touchdowns will be an outstanding year. Yeah. Based on how he go likely come in, if he get 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, that is a great year. So I don't think any of, and this is because 400 yards generally out of any weapon is going to be considered bad, right? Think about that. What if a receiver came in and only did 400 yards? You'll be like, they need to cut him, right? But because he go likely come in and battle out and try to be tight end 3, tight end 2, I can see him coming in, getting 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. I would say that's a good year for a rookie. I'd be like, he said, Luke, when tackled, always gets yards. He has attitude, catches everything with his hands, and high points the ball, separates in the film. Yeah, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't see all the separation on the film. That's why I didn't put him in the Boss Cowboy guide. I didn't see a bunch of separation from him. Not with my eyes. I'm going to go take another look. I'm going to go take another look at him, but I didn't see it. That's why I didn't put him in the guide, because the people that I put in the guide are tight ends that can separate. And then it's kind of hard to trust it because he didn't have that much production at all. He only had about 500 yards of production in 4 years and maybe a total of 5 touchdowns. You know what I mean? In 4 years. So yeah, it's like, the production didn't say he was getting a lot of separation, but it could be the system. I go take another look at that. But my eyes didn't see a separator. I didn't. I'm being all the way honest. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a guy that I just watched that we just signed as an undrafted free agent. He looked like he stretched the field more than Schoon. Y'all go look him up. Preston Fant. We signed him for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Yeah, because see, when I was looking at the Boss Cowboy, I didn't even know who this dude is. I was like, who is this? And I saw that Dallas signed him. I went and looked him up. I was like, God dang. Yeah, if you want to see somebody catching balls downfield, you want to see somebody being used in that backfield as well, lead blocking, jumping over in the red zone as a red zone weapon, it was Preston. Yeah. But I go take another look at Schoonmaker because, see, I don't see, I'm just being honest, I don't see the separation when I watch this film. Now, I saw fantastic separation from Trey McBride last year. I'm talking about Trey was I still love some Trey. I still wish the Dallas Cowboys some kind of way got Trey McBride. Because, man, I ain't seen a tight end look that complete in college in a long time. In a very long time. But it's just my eyes. I don't see Trey when I see Luke. I hope I'm wrong, though. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I really do. I want to be wrong, but I'm just being honest. I don't see it. Hold on, what's going on with my? Oh my God, you gonna act stupid right now? Hold on. My system was tripping. Boy, it's getting so buggy. But anyway, so this is what I hope for Luke. So what I hope for Luke is I'm not going to believe that he's going to be a 800-yard receiver. I mean, tight end. I don't believe it. Nope. Not year one. Maybe year two. Maybe year three. I feel a whole lot better about him in year three than I do in year one. Do I like the Cowboys for being aggressive for the guy that they believe in? Yes, I do. Do I feel like he gonna come in and likely make some plays for us? I do. I think he gonna make some plays for us. I think, and I'm just giving you my prediction, I think his skill sets mixed with Coach Wells is gonna come together and continue that trend of tight ends playing well for the Dallas Cowboys. I think that trend is gonna continue. What I don't believe is that he's an automatic mismatch. I don't believe it. I don't believe that the modern tight ends, I'm talking about James Washington too, because a lot of people was like, what about James Washington, boss, from Georgia? What about him, boss? Him too. I don't believe that them dudes get separation no more. Ever since the league has changed and went to tween the linebackers, I'm out. And I'm telling y'all, I'm giving tight end one more year. Because I saw what they were saying about Mayer, James Washington from Georgia. I saw all the hype. I saw it. Kincaid. I'm going to be taking notes all year on how these tight ends actually perform. All the ones you said he's an automatic mismatch. He's gonna eat up the league because he's too big for itty bitty corners and he's too athletic for bulky linebackers. Okay, we go see how that work out. I'm sorry, Darnell Washington. Thank you, Trey. I said James Washington. Thank you, Darnell Washington. I'm gonna be looking at Darnell too. I'm gonna be looking at every one of them tight ends that was hyped. Every one of them. Darnell Washington, Kincaid, Mayer, even our own guy. I'm gonna be looking. And if they have, if I promise y'all this, I'm just telling you now. So get ready. If they come out like them best tight ends did last year with this womp stuff, and these balls was hyped to heaven and then they just disappear when they hit the league, I'm not gonna be silent when I see them pissing on running back but pushing up tight ends. I'm not gonna be silent, because see, this bit my team twice. We got goofy twice. We got goofy when we kept Schultz and got rid of Amari. See, that's what happened. You get goofy like that when you falling for the propaganda, when you falling for the spell, when you falling for the popular opinion and the groupthink. They put a spell on you and you all of a sudden start talking like them. You start saying stuff not even realizing it's a contradiction. You over here cheering for tight end in the first round and pissing on running backs in the first round, and it makes no sense. If you go actually look at the production, the production clearly shows that your running backs is way better in terms of return on team investment than tight ends. They had running backs that was running 4.2s, had 20 touchdowns with 1,600 yards, getting drafted in the 6th round. 4.2 speed. It was a whole lot of running backs this draft that the Dallas Cowboys we could have we could have got us multiple good backs. So I'm just letting you know, I'm not gonna let it happen, because somebody gotta come out and speak against the spell. Somebody gotta say, hold on, Dallas. I know the crowd is gonna say this year all over again, this is a no-miss tight end. This tight end, you gotta get him. He's gonna be a natural mismatch. He's gonna be too big for corners, and he's gonna be too athletic for bulky linebackers. Who gonna wake up out the matrix? Who gonna be the person that's gonna wake up outside this matrix? Who gonna wake up from the matrix? You know? So I feel like the Dallas Cowboys with pick 2, I think they got too aggressive. I'm being all the way honest. Not aggressive. I think they was, I think they falling for the wee-woo. That's why they saying weird stuff like, no, we wouldn't draft Zeke that high. It's like you got a lot of good production off Zeke. A lot. And see, this is the funny part. It's almost like we don't remember history. Because see, remember what we was doing before we drafted Zeke? Running back by committee. Y'all remember that's what we was doing? We was doing running back by committee. And then we went to a feature back with Zeke and had prosperity with it for at least 4 or 5 years straight. And even on a bad knee, we got 12 years out of him. You got a good return on your investment from Zeke. You did. You got a great return on your investment. Fantastic return. But we saying we wouldn't repeat that again. We don't want to do that anymore. We're not going featured backs. We're now the team of committee backs. You was a committee back before you went to Zeke. You went away from committee because Zeke gave you another level. So, like, that's what I'm saying. In my opinion, we just all need to be very careful, because a lot of times when it's said a lot, it don't mean that it's right. Because you hear it a lot, don't mean that it's right. Yes, it's true. You hear everybody saying over and over, never draft a running back in round 1. Never. It's a waste of resources. You can get one in the 3rd round that's going to be just as good. But with tight end, they turn around and say the complete opposite. Man, we need to get this tight end, because even though the best tight ends have been drafted in round 3, round 5, and we got to go get this guy. We have to. All right, let me take some calls. All right, we got the call line open. I need somebody to put the number in the chat. I'm going to take some calls on this, and then I'm going to get out of here. But this is one that I know a lot of y'all want to hear about, because it's a lot of Cowboy fans. They scared to say, man, what was that? Or try to explain what was going on, because, they want to be real positive right now. You get a lot of subscribers when you just super optimistic, even when it don't make sense. You just be optimistic. Just, hey, this pick is going to, man, I get this pick an A+. I love this pick. Oh, man, he can block. He can block. Now, it's one good thing about this pick, though, in terms of blocking. Mike McCarthy was showing that he was dead set on trying to get a guard in round 1. So for him to turn around and get a tight end in round 2. Hold on real quick, bro. Sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to do something real quick. Y'all give me a second. I'm trying to add that phone number to a pen, then I'm gonna start answering the phone. All right, I pinned it. All right. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Hey, boss, what's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, this is Rico, man. You been doing all right?
Yeah, what's up, Rico?
I can't call him, man. Look, I had put in the chat down low, I agree with everything you were saying about the tight end position.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think Dallas did reach a little bit for him. But I think the reason why they did is because they're picking so late. And but I want the point that I was gonna hit you back with. You actually brought it up with Mike McCarthy, with Mike Martz. I think Dallas got him because I think that boy is a pure blocker. I think that's his best thing. He can block, and I think Dallas will run the football.
Hold on, real quick, Rico. Did you watch that for yourself, or you heard them say that?
What? Can he block?
Yeah.
I watched some tape on him. He can block because this is the one thing I always believed in. Big Ten tight end. If you ever look at any Big Ten tight end, most of them come out of the Big Ten. Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan. They run a lot of pro-style offense with inline tight end. And the tight end coach said something the other day that caught my ear when they interviewed him after they drafted Schoonmaker, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He said a lot of times them tight ends that go to the Big Ten play tight end in high school. So they wanted to play tight end in college. So the tight end is a hard position to learn. It's a hard position to learn, you know, because you got to learn the offensive line. You got to know some of the fullback, running back. It's a lot of things you got to learn. But when you get tight end that played it from Friday night to Saturday night, a lot of times they can catch on Sunday a little bit better. Now, they might not be the athletes or some of them other ones, but when you just talking about being that tight end to just block, and can kind of do a little bit of both, I can see why they got him. Because if you go back and you think about Dallas the year before, when Dak was rolling, when we was rolling, then we run a lot of 12 personnel, and we got away from it. And who was the other tight end? It was Dalton Schultz, and it was Jarwin before he got hurt. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it was Schultz got hurt, and then we start. I wouldn't say we.
No, I ain't talking about last year. I ain't talking about last year. I'm talking about year before last. When we beat New England in overtime, we were rolling. We rolled off like 6 straight. See, the year before, when Dak looked like an MVP candidate before he hurt his calf. Who was the other tight end?
That was Jarwin, and then Schultz.
Okay, that's right, Jarwin. That's what I thought. When we ran that, that's when I thought Mike McCarthy had something. And I thought Kellen Moore got away from it because he wanted to open up and show he can do things in so many different ways, because instead of him having the interest of the Cowboys offense, he started worrying about a job. I think Mike McCarthy's going back.
Rico. See, let's go back to that 2021 season. Your starting tight end, I remember now, it wasn't Jarwin. It was Schultz. Schultz wasn't a good block in 2021. When we was rolling. Hold on real quick. When we was rolling, he was not a good blocker. He was bad.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. But still, when you have two tight ends, a body, it's like size. Sometimes you can just stand in the way.
Just stand in the way.
You see what I'm saying? That's right. Sometimes you can just stand in the way. All I'm saying is, I think when you look at that West Coast offense that he's bringing in, I think he's going to bring in a mix. I think don't be surprised we don't look like a little bit of the 49ers. I think Mike McCarthy is trying to make Dak Prescott a high up-end bus driver. And that's, to me, the only way Dak you can win with that. If you put Dak in the 49ers offense, they probably won the last 2 Super Bowls. To me, that's what I think he's trying to do. That's just me.
Gotcha. Well,
that's just me.
I'm with you.
That's it. I mean, that's me.
So let me ask you a question.
The thing about it,
let me ask you a question.
Yes,
what do you expect him to do year one?
I think his upscale is probably no more than 300 or 400 yards. But now, I'm gonna tell you where the mismatch probably could come in at.
Where could it come in at?
In red zone.
He go separate in the red zone.
You can't separate in the red zone. It's hard for any receiver to separate in the red zone because the field gets short. The ball, the outside out of bounds line is the extra defender. So you got to sometimes know how to high point balls, defend people off like Whitten did for many years.
You know he got a 33-inch vertical, right?
Okay, but this is the thing. It's one thing you can't teach. It's almost like basketball. You can't teach size. You can't teach 6'5" now. It's a 6'2", 6'5" is a big difference.
Okay.
You can't teach that.
So
And then short field-
is 40-inch verticals versus 33-inch verticals.
Okay, yes, but you talking about the receivers?
No,
We
I'm
talking
talking
about tight
about.
end.
I know. I'm talking about in athletes that's gonna be defending him. So if you 6'4", but you only got a 33-inch vertical, that's a baby vertical. I used to jump higher than that. I had a 37-inch vertical. So if you was
Okay, but
6'4",
let me-
hold on, Rico.
let-
Hold on, Rico. Hold on. So if you 6'4" and I'm 5'11", but I jump 8 inches higher than you, you ain't got no advantage.
If I got how my wingspan is.
So you go, okay, so it's gonna be about wingspan. So in your mind, you believe that this tight end is gonna be a mismatch in the league.
I said in certain situations.
In the red zone,
not
right?
consistently, no. Certain situations, and on certain situations against certain teams. Because everybody's not gonna have an athletic linebacker. Because that's the thing.
Everybody
If
don't
you
have
look
it.
it up-
How many do we have?
Okay, and I'm glad you brought it up. That's why and let me tell you something. That's why I feel like
How many do we
really
have?
ain't got that.
No, how
Hold
many
on,
do
hold
we
on.
have?
I'm glad you opened that door. Let me answer that. If you look at our defense, that's why we went and got that D tackle. That's why we went and got that linebacker from.
No, you
from
right. So how many do
because
we have?
How many what?
Yeah, athletic linebackers. How many do we have?
We do have athletic linebackers, but when we play teams like 49ers, a team that have two tight ends and run the punches in the mouth, we lose a lot of time.
No,
If you
you
go
was
back and look
talking
at the
about
12
you was
look at
talking
the
about
5 losses we
countering.
had.
You was talking about countering these tight ends, and you
Okay,
say a lot of
okay, but
teams
that's
don't
what I'm-
have. Hold on, real quick. You said a lot of teams don't have that. You actually saying opposite of what Mike Mark said. Mike Mark said the exact opposite. He said in his observation of the league, a lot of linebackers have got a lot leaner and more
Yeah.
athletic. So who right?
Yes,
You and
but-
him?
He's right, but this is the thing. Of all them linebackers that are linear and lighter, are they as physical as some of the ones we got? That's the difference. You see what I'm saying? Because to me, the reason why Jarrell Cox
Because
might
now
be in
you're
trouble
talking
this
about
offseason-
stop and run. See, you switching it. You
Okay,
switching
but
it.
that
See,
but-
we talking
okay, but
about
that's-
stopping
that's
tight
the-
ends, not stopping the run.
Okay, but this is the thing.
So you talking
If
about
you ain't
physical,
physical-
which ain't had nothing to do
Listen,
with stopping
listen.
these tight ends. You
Okay,
switching.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because
So
we
you
won
just
the trip.
believe in it. You
Because-
believe. You just believe
I
it. You like
believe
I
it.
believe in it. So what? So you
No, I'm
think?
just saying-
So you think 400 yards gonna be good, and that's cool. You believe. You say 400 yards gonna be good.
I said because you ain't let me completely answer that question. 300 or 400 out of him, 300 or 400 out of Jake Ferguson, and a couple 200 out of Peyton Shot. All in one is the same thing. Same thing when we let Gregory go. We got 8 from him. Armstrong got 6 from Fowler and got 5 from St. Williams. What's the difference?
Okay, so let me look at let's do the math on what you just said. Cool. Let's do the math. So I'm gonna go look at real quick Jason Witten, right? So Jason Witten in 2018 retired. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go to 2018 when he retired and let's see your split up theory. So if I go to 2018 and I look at Swam, when he was with Dallas, he played 9 games. He got 242 yards. Okay. And then Blake in 2018 took over when he got injured and he got 307 yards. So combined, they only did about 600 yards together. Which
That's
is
right, 6, 7.
which
That's what I was saying.
which
Okay,
is,
if you take
hold on real
Peyton Shot
quick.
out and you,
Which is because
Yeah,
you
that's
said
about right.
said 4 from this one, 4 from that one. I'm telling you,
Yeah, I said you might get 4-3 or 4-3 or 4.
you ain't
Yeah,
gonna
if
get no
listen, you
4-3. I'm telling you right now, it ain't gonna happen. Especially according to history, it ain't gonna happen. If we look at
Well,
history, that don't happen. Mostly, this is what happened
but-
according to history. Just let me because I got the data right here. I can show you. It don't matter who the tight end is. At the most, from the unit, at the most you gonna get around 900 from the whole unit. You know what I mean? That's
right.
at the
I agree
best.
with you. You're right. You're right.
And
You're right.
that was
That's why-
with them balls being force fed. You know what I mean? Because under Kellen Moore, the tight ends was force fed in his option route system. That's why you had Schultz have equal targets as Cooper. So, but listen,
right.
so I don't think we go have 400, 300. I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be only one tight end at best. Hold on real quick. I think at best you gonna have one tight end do around 600. The rest of them gonna be around 180, 190 at best.
Okay, and guess what? If it equals up to 8, 9, it's the same thing. 6 plus 6 is 12. 10 plus 2 is 12. As long as it's 12. It doesn't matter because Dallas gonna be a run first team. Dallas is gonna run. Dallas gonna be a look. This is the part what people don't want to admit. Dallas gonna be a run first team, and they gonna cut down Dak attempts, and they gonna put Dak back to similar to what he was when he first come in. But the thing they looking at saying Dak is this time, when teams disrespect us and want to, because you can stop the run and you can run the football, you're gonna win a lot of football games. That's period. And when you said that and Jimmy G can win a lot of football games doing that, and that undrafted, that 7th-round rookie for 49ers can do that, and I've seen in history other teams doing it. If Dak is better than them. So to me, if you can do that with Dak, you got a chance of winning the Super Bowl. Now the thing about it is Dak numbers about to drop some. He ain't gonna be throwing no 4,000, 5,000 yards. He gonna go back to like Romo his last year in 2014 when we almost beat Green Bay. Now that's what Mike McCarthy's gonna do.
Gotcha.
And that's how we gonna win.
Gotcha. So you love the pick.
A lot of Dak lovers don't want to hear that, but that ain't a knock on Dak. That's just putting Dak, because this is the thing. That's actually doing the opposite of what Kellen Moore was doing today.
Let me take this super chat.
And it's complimented football.
Let me take this super chat just real quick. He said, "Boss, I see where you're going with your analysis and agree in regards of productivity. There's another side of the coin, and it's hard to find a good and a productive tight end, draftability and potential." I think that's what they did. I think they drafted him from potential upside. I do think that they drafted him from upside.
I agree with that.
I would be lying if I said that they drafted him based on actual performance on the field. Because his performance on the field, blocking. Right.
Michigan ran the football. If you watch that Michigan game when they played Ohio State, and I watched that game, they blew Ohio State off the ball.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Because see, I keep hearing people say blocking. I'm gonna turn the film on, and we go through these games, and we go judge him side by side, Ferguson. Okay, because I want to make sure that it's the difference that it's been sold to me. Because I keep getting sold that he's an amazing blocker. If he is, hold on real quick, Rico. Let me finish, please, sir. So if he is, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say, yep, Rico told me. It's a whole lot of people that co-signed that he was a great blocker. The film is showing that he a good blocker, you know, and I'm not going to be in a trance. I'm going to go through what the film says, and I'm going to do it publicly. If the film is showing
you say you can put him beside Jake Ferguson, right?
Yes.
You say you can put him beside Jake Ferguson.
Yes.
Okay, now this is the one
thing I want to
finish,
Rico, I want to finish. Let me finish my thought. So
go ahead.
If so when I put them side by side, if I don't see a great blocker, I'm going to say it. And the film is Rico, let me finish, please, sir. Let me just finish my thought. I promise you, I'm not rushing you. I'm not trying to go to the next call.
Oh, okay.
I didn't put
my bad.
I didn't put no time on you or nothing. We just talking. So you ain't got to rush.
I'm sorry, bro.
We good.
My apologies. I'm sorry.
No, you good, Rico. You good. I just trying to make sure everybody can hear. You know what I mean? That's all. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because when you cut me off, I can't finish my thought. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to finish my full thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
if you ain't rushing me, go ahead. Yes,
no, I ain't rushing you, man. Did I tell you one time it was a clock on you?
No, sir.
Yeah, it ain't no clocks on you. We just having a discussion. That's all.
Yes, sir.
And I like your optimism. It's cool. But this is the deal. I just want the film to really speak. You see what I'm saying? That's all. I want the film to really tell me, is he a good blocker? Because, see, I got wee-wooed before by front office. I got wee-wooed before. See, they also sold us before, Rico, that wide receiver by committee was going to be better. And they sold that same trash twice. So,
okay, but that's
Rico,
two different positions.
Rico, I promise you, when I stop, I'm going to listen. I promise you.
Okay.
So we got sold that before. So for people, people got to understand, some of us have trust issues for good reason. So what I want to do is actually verify this blocking. So in one of these future shows, I'm going to put those boys side by side. We go look at multiple games too. And we go really see, is there a major difference in blocking between these two? If it is, I'm going to be like, all right, let's rock. If it's not, I'm going to call it wee-woo. I'm finished.
Okay, now I want you, to me, to be fair to this boy, if you can compare Jake Ferguson blocking to his blocking, go pull up Jake Ferguson Wisconsin State tape. Don't pull up Jake Ferguson after 1 year pro working with a professional coach and high coach. Pull up Wisconsin and Michigan side by side.
I can do that.
Or wait till the end of the year and then pull up tape between the two after about 12 weeks. And then the second thing, and I'm gonna leave it after this. Wide receiver by committee, at that time we did it, was the Kellen Moore offensive coordinator. Yes, he was, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was.
Okay. He was trying to sling the ball all over the field and didn't have the horses to do it. Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah, mostly two
last
tight
year,
ends.
last year when we had one tight end, one receiver, a one-legged receiver, and Charlie Brown, I ain't going to call him Noah Brown, I'm going to call him Charlie Brown. When we put Cooper Rush at quarterback and dialed it down and became a run-first team, and played continental football, it didn't look that bad. Hey, excuse my French, but hell, you were trying to compare Charlie Brown to Chris Carter. Soon as that come back, we open right back up, and we playing against sub-average defense, we got happy about it. The minute we went against athletic defense, Charlie Brown showed back up, and that one-legged gallop never could do nothing. If you're going to do it, I always tell people, split it down the middle, be fair about it, weigh it on both sides. Just be fair.
All right, let's talk about what's fair. I heard you. You said be fair.
Yeah, be fair.
It is actually not fair. Okay,
it.
Of course I'm going to be fair. You think I'm going to try to bend it towards against? They on the same team. Why would I bend it against one guy? Like, why would I do that?
No, it ain't the point of it. The point of it is the deal.
This is the deal. You actually bending it against, or you bending it for Schoon. Because if you saying,
I'm not bending. I just
listen
said,
to me. If you, because it's harder for Ferguson to block people in the league than Schoon to block people from Michigan. You got somebody that's blocking grown men that's in their man bodies in the league. And if he doing a better job in the league, that's another level. And I said the same thing regarding Wright and Steele yesterday when I was talking about Wright, and I was trying to explain that for people that don't want or not open to Steele potentially moving the left tackle or left guard, well, that contradicts your thought of being open to Wright, because Wright was a mauler in college versus Steele was a mauler in the league. So if I'm looking at somebody doing better blocking in the league than a guy's doing in college, that automatically means he's a better blocker. But I can do it however you want to do it. If you want to look at college to college, we can look at it like that. If you want to look at it college to the league, we can look at it like that. But it's actually a harder assignment. It's a harder assignment to block somebody in the league. True or false?
Okay, but yes, okay, but it
no,
ain't
true or false? True or false?
You moving the goalpost.
True or false?
That's true.
Okay, so if it's harder on Ferguson and he doing a better job than what we seeing from a guy blocking in college, that means Ferguson is a better blocker.
Okay, then let me spin it on you. So you trying to tell me that Ferguson working with our tight end coach and a year in the NFL didn't help him none at all? So you trying to tell me he hasn't grown none? So you trying to tell me when Schoonmaker come in and get that same thing that Ferguson got his first year, he ain't gonna grow none?
No, I ain't say that. I ain't
But
say
that's
that.
what you saying.
No.
But that's basically what
That's
you
not
saying.
what I said.
That's what
See,
you saying.
don't do all that basically. No, I said exactly what I said. What I said exactly was this. No, let me tell you what I exactly said, not what you basically said. What I exactly said was, which one is harder, blocking grown men in the league or blocking college kids? It's blocking college kids. It's easier than hold on real quick than blocking grown men. Now you are also right. Both of them are right. See, both points are right. See, what you saying is also factor in the coaching from Coach Wells, which could have also took Ferguson to another level. That's a fair point. So both of them are actually correct. You see what I'm saying? So it's true that it's harder for Ferguson. That's true because he did it against guys in the league. You see what I'm saying? Then it's also true what you said that Ferguson Pro Tape has the advantage of good coaching. So what makes sense to do is to do both. You know what I mean?
Okay,
when we look at Ferguson versus Schoonmaker from college, same division, and we can add the league. And what all we trying to do is get a clear picture. That's all I'm trying to do. I just want a clear picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you want to be, but now, let me be honest with you. If you want to be fair about it, if you really want to be fair about it, you would have to pull Ferguson college tape.
That's what I said. I just said that. I just said that, Rico.
That's all I'm saying.
I
Be fair. I always
literally just
split
said that.
things down the middle. That's it. That's
Rico,
all I'm saying, boss.
You not listening. I literally just said that. No, I just said the first thing I'm gonna do is compare their college tape. So I'm saying what you're saying, and I'm agreeing with you on what you said, because what you said was fair. You know what I mean? You said first compare them colleges that make sense, right? Then I can go look at Ferguson in the league, but with the asterisk of he did get better coaching as a rookie. You know what I mean? And that can't be taken away from Schoon. You know what I mean? You can't use that against Schoon because you're right. Schoon ain't get that coaching yet. That's fair. What you said was completely fair. You know what I mean? So, and I'm glad we talked it out. Cause see, when we talked it out, you helping me think through how to have a good, fair film session. You know what I mean? And so when we go through this film session, we go just let it speak. If it says Schoon is way better, I'm gonna say that. If it say they are around the same, coming from college, I'ma say that. If it say Ferguson way better, I'ma say that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Because at the end of the day, film don't lie.
Yeah, okay.
At the end of the day, film don't lie.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, film don't lie.
So this is the deal, man. Do you feel like this pick put us in contention, or do you feel like this pick is for the future?
A little of both.
That's real.
Because I'm gonna tell you why. Let me ask you this, boss. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Before the draft, I asked any Cowboys. I've asked a couple of Cowboy fans around here in North Carolina. Before the draft, did you feel comfortable if we rolled out the roster we had before the draft that we could contend?
Yeah.
All right. So that's why I said a little bit of both. Because if you're going back to the West, this the thing. If you're going to play complimentary football, because to me, Mike McCarthy's going to give you, Ma, all your boys, what y'all been asking for. Run the ball, physicality, and complimentary football.
Yeah.
That's what he's ready to give y'all. And if you look at the draft, I'm gonna tell you what I do like about what Dallas is doing. And you said something the other day, boss. And you said you said something the other day after we had got rid of Kellen Moore, right after the end of the season. You said you felt like this was going to be the year Dallas going to go to the Super Bowl if no injuries come. Didn't you say that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, at first, when y'all heard you say that, I was like, man, I don't know. But now I'm starting to come along with you. But I'm
You
gonna tell
really?
you why.
You starting to come on with me now?
But I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
When I looked in that war room,
Mm-hmm.
I saw Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy getting players with the same mentality on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Because this is what I told an Eagle fan. Drafting names don't guarantee you that you got a good football player.
Right.
I played football. I believe in character.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in dogs. And one thing I'm going to say to Eagle fans, if you ever look at the history of drafting, in football, especially basketball, when teams have tried to draft and pull everybody off of a dominant college team, 9 times out of 10, all of them do not transcend over to the NFL. Somebody is going to get the weeble.
Mm-hmm.
It never works because it just don't. And the reason why I don't, I think because of some piggybacking off of others, and because they were playing on a lot of high talent, and made them look better than what they actually was.
Okay.
But
No,
going
I
back
ain't
to
talking
Dallas,
about Philly. Philly not even the conversation.
No. But that's what they're going back to Dallas. Dallas, you're right. I believe the reason why is because we are drafting players with the same type of character and demeanor, physicality, dog, smack, and toughness.
Yeah.
On both sides of the ball, and we brought and got all of the Garrett mess out of here. Now I do believe it. What I wish was if Jerry would have did it from the day one.
Got you.
What I
Rico.
don't like is Jerry giving Mike McCarthy.
Hold on. We starting to go to another topic. I don't want to switch.
No, I know, but that's what. If you look at the draft,
No, I'm with you. I don't want to.
All these players have the same demeanor.
Yeah, you said
but
that.
Go ahead, boss. You have a good night. Look, I tell you what, man.
Mm-hmm.
What I would really like to do, boss.
Mm-hmm.
I would really like to sit down with you off content with you, Ma. We can sit and talk football because I'm gonna tell you what would be a good idea. And I started to tell all this. I've seen it. I'm a big basketball fan.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something where maybe I'll give you an idea to maybe help your channel. After the Dallas game, won't you open up your channel and get some high IQ football fans, not just regular football fans. In Dallas Cowboys, we have some fans that are sometimes I'm ashamed to say they're Cowboy fans because they're delusional. But get some high IQ football fans and open up the chat and let us talk about what happened, what we saw after every game. I guarantee you'll get a lot of good feedback on that.
Man, I appreciate that, Rico, man.
Basketball.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Rico. That's some good insight. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, big dog. Make sure you
All
call
right, man,
back,
you have a
Rico.
good one, man.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm gonna take some more calls real quick. That was Rico. So we got the call line back open. And I believe him. I mean, I think there was some good points that he made, about Luke, and just a good points about the Dallas Cowboys. Here we go. We got Pastor Tap. Man, I'm trying to answer the phone. Hold on real quick. BossCowboySports.
Boss, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
Hey, Pastor, what's good?
I'm good, man. I just wanted to call in and talk about your subject, man.
Okay.
That you got going on about Schoonmaker, man. I think everybody should just relax a little bit. I called in the law and said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It really is kind of early, but thinking about where he fell, I can see how people would have an issue with where we took him. But I think we need to understand you can only draft the players that are available. And some of the tight ends that I think that we were targeting were already off the board. Kincaid was gone. I think Musgrave.
Yep.
Yeah, Mayer was gone, and Musgrave was gone, the guy out of Oregon State.
Yep.
So looking at the best of the bunch.
Old boy out of Iowa.
From Iowa. Yeah, he was gone
too. Yep.
Yeah, so he was gone. So,
yeah, it was a wipeout. So you thinking it was a wipeout?
Yeah, so I think it was a wipeout.
Mm-hmm.
Or it becomes the question of what caliber of a tight end would you get in the third or fourth round. Now, they did pick up the undrafted free agent from North Dakota State who played a little bit of that. And they got Fant from Tennessee, so they got some competition in the room. But I like the Schoonmaker pick because of the big time program of a team that's been in the playoffs for 2 years straight, and they already play a pro system.
Yeah.
So I think it came down between Schoonmaker and Washington, but as I was watching the draft show, I heard that they had some medical issues on Washington.
Yeah, I heard that.
So
too.
that's why they moved away from him, man. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the dude, he's a big body. He can block. He a football player. He tough and physical. Let's see what he can do. Obviously, there's competition in the room. You still got, Hendershot. You still got Ferguson. They're going to develop as well. I don't think the Cowboys season is going to ride on whether Schoonmaker makes it or not.
No.
I think he could be definitely be a benefit. But for what we're trying to do, let's just see. The other thing about this is, look, there's a reason why we drafted at 26 and 58. We won 12 games. So look at our position. The Eagles are only drafting high because of the trades that they made.
Right.
This is it for Philly. They're not going to be drafting that high anymore unless they just boo-boo or they got a good team.
Right.
So, and the truth of the matter is, the pieces that we needed, with the exception of the left guard, we pretty much addressed. So obviously, Dallas feels comfortable about what they have, or there still could be some things that they can do for that. But we have a complete team, man. Again, we were in injuries and a couple of plays away from being in the NFC Championship game. And football is that close. We have a complete team. You don't go 12-5 back-to-back seasons if your team is not complete. So I think, I know we have the hopes of doing that, but we need to really keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so the thing is just on like these tight ends, right? What's bothering some of us, not all of us, what's bothering some of us is not having a clear answer at left guard. You know what I mean?
Understand.
Because see, Philly able to walk away knowing that they replaced Hargraves. You know what I mean? So at least they feeling like, okay, we replaced a big loss. You know what I mean? Some of us hold on real quick, Pastor, just real quick. It's some of us feeling that part. Now, this is the thing that's gave me massive encouragement today, Pastor. Is when they showed them in the war room, right? And they was debating what they should do at pick 26. And if I heard them right, I thought I heard Will McClay say, we have more maulers on the offensive side than we have defensive one-ticks. See, that stands out. Because when you say we have more maulers, who are the maulers? Right? Steele.
Yeah.
Right, for sure, Steele. You can say Steele. You can definitely say Tyler. Right, those two are your maulers. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think you're right. It does say that they likely have some type of plan to take care of that left guard hole. Whether that might mean moving Tyler to left guard.
Right.
Did I say Josh Ball? I hope I didn't.
You didn't say Josh Ball yet.
Okay. And hopefully they weren't thinking Josh Ball. He could be a mauler because I did like it.
They probably thinking that though.
They probably thinking that. So it's but see, this is the thing. Like for those of us who got trust issues from receiver by committee, it's like wait and see. Don't feel good because it's like I'm watching a car come. You know what I mean? And I'm like, y'all done ran me over before.
Let's look like this. Right. I feel you on that, and I think that's real.
Yeah.
That's legitimate, and it's honest. Let me offer a different perspective.
Sure.
They got the 3rd round pick and a free agent, the guy that played for the Falcons and the Jets. I can't pronounce his name. Not necessarily as a replacement, but as a body.
Yeah.
You have the option of kicking Tyler Smith back in if it is, although I think they're going to try to keep him at tackle. Now, I don't like the option of them saying they're going to put put Steele try him at guard. I don't like that.
No, I
But
said that.
whatever the case
that was
may-
my.
Yeah.
Yeah. At first, I used to laugh at that, but now, given where we are, I'm considering it.
Well, it could work. But the point I'm making is you have the free agent that they got. You have Forniak. You got Tyler Smith, and you got Josh Ball, and you got Terrence Steele.
Yep.
So I'm saying out of those five, one of them gonna work. And if you went with your best five, and I saw you do this yesterday, if you went with your best five,
Yep.
I have no problems if they put Tyron Smith back at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard.
Right.
Biotish,
Right.
Martin,
Yeah.
and Terrence Steele. And I think that's where we want to go, but I don't think Steele's going to be fully ready by the beginning of the season. That's the only change because of the ACL.
Right.
No, but that would be ideal.
I don't think he gonna be ready. That's why most of the contingency plans that I was looking at first, I always consider Steele not there first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Which means that puts us back where somebody's going to have to play that left guard. It's probably going to be the free agent cap, Josh Ball, or Forniak. And we still got Avante Collins, too. And Avante Collins can ball, man. So he's like legit. So I think I feel okay with that because it comes down to when that war room, I like the Mozzie Smith pick if it's between him and Bojan because Bojan, I think that would have been a reach for the first round. Although I like him, it would have been a reach. And the truth is, they wanted Darnell Wright, man, but he was gone. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
If Darnell Wright was on the clock and was available, it'd have been no brainer. Darnell Wright would have been our pick, but he was gone.
Yeah.
So you got to play with the cards that you were dealt with, and I think that's what we're doing. And again, what else do we need to do to get over the hump? And I understand that Philly drafted well about what they were, but I still come back to this because I watch. Now I'm from South Carolina originally. Y'all know I'm in the DMV, so I watch a lot of ACC. I'm a Clemson fan, and I watch a lot of ACC and I watch lots of SEC games, man. I still come down to this, man. I went to school in Georgia. I went to Morehouse. A lot of folk from Georgia. They love them Bulldogs, and they outmatched TCU just on talent. But when talent hit talent, bro, Ohio State gave it to them. Look how much C.J. Stroud, Ryan Day, and that offense put up against this quote-unquote stout Georgia defense. Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith were non-factors, bro. I'm happy about it, but look at that game, man. They were non-factors. So,
no, I'm with you.
I think we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I put it like this, Pastor. I was saying before the draft, and I still stand with this. We didn't even have to do a draft to go right back, and actually we're a better team, even before we drafted. So,
absolutely, absolutely.
So, like, I'm more so speaking for the people, especially today, that had a problem with 58. You know what I mean? And I'm telling those people, I can kind of understand why you do. Because see, what's going to happen with some of those guys that think like that, during this time of the season, they get bullied. Because they try to make them feel like they disloyal for not liking 58. You know what I mean? And I'm telling those people that, first of all, it's going to work out. That's number one. Number two, it's okay to be upset at 58 if you really sincerely believe that it wasn't the big pick to put us over the hump. It's okay to be angry at that, and it's okay to voice it. Don't feel like you have to be quiet because when we drafted Tristan Hill, I remember feeling the pressure of trying to be positive about that pick when I was really honestly mad that we passed up on DK Metcalf. And I said it.
Absolutely.
And I said it.
Absolutely.
I said it live. I said, I can't believe that we just passed up on Randy Moss again. I said, I thought we learned from this. And then I start getting hit from the chat. Oh, boss, we needed a DT, boss. Boss, be positive. And then years later, he cut and DK, obviously doing DK things. So I just want to kind of communicate to people that it's okay to use your voice to say what you want to see better. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. And I also want to temper expectations on Schoon. I don't want people actually believing that he go come in here and do 900 yards or 600 yards. That's too big of an expectation on a rookie tight end. If we didn't see that from Hall of Famers, I'm not expecting that from him at all. I want him to be reliable. I want him to be tough. I want him to be what we were sold that he is: a ferocious blocker, a hard competitor, a sure hands guy. If we seeing all of that, if we seeing all the athleticism and he working his way up, I'm gonna smile at this pick and I'm gonna go to war with this pick.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think anybody that has a football IQ understands that how many second-round draft picks just come in and just change the league. That doesn't happen too often, especially not at tight end, because it's going to still be a committee. Let me ask you this, because you said something that was profound when you went to Tristan Hill and DJ Metcalf.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, Pastor, real quick. He said hindsight is 20/20. No, that wasn't hindsight on DK. That was foresight. That was foresight.
No, listen, you talking about a big body receiver running a 4.3?
And we passed that. I was, and my point, and then people was like, "Boss, be positive," and I was like, "No, I got a right to be mad at that. I should be mad at that."
But you were positive. You were just telling the truth. See,
right.
People don't think telling the truth is positive.
Yeah.
Just trying to be optimistic can be hallucination if you're not dealing with reality.
Yeah.
So you were positive. You told the truth.
Right. Thank you,
and the truth is always there. So you were positive that. So let me ask you this then.
Yes, sir.
Looking at pick number 58, we chose Schoonmaker. Given the history of what you made about Tristan Hill and DJ Metcalf, who was your quote-unquote DJ Metcalf, not by position, but just by player? Who was your DJ Metcalf that you feel that was available at 58 that we could have taken?
Let me pull it up, because I actually can pull up the actual list and then kind of go through it. So let me pull it up and then we'll answer that. Off the top of my head, I can definitely tell you without even pulling it up, my Mauler list had me kind of chilling. You know what I mean? Because I had a list of options. Right. I wasn't just looking at just the guys that went off, because obviously I had Bergeron. Hold on, let me see if I still got it up here. Pastor. Hold on, give me 1 second. I don't. All right, let me pull it up. I can pull it up. Okay. So, so obviously I had Bergeron, right? And I said not only should we draft Bergeron, I said we would have to move up in the second round to go get him. You know what I mean?
Right.
If we want that Mauler,
he was gone, right?
Yeah.
He was gone. He was gone, right?
Yeah.
He left.
He left. Behind him, Pastor, I'm pulling it now. I'm gonna pull my Mauler list, because that's the easiest way to explain it without having to pull up the whole draft list. You know what I mean? Okay. So on my Mauler list, I had Darnell Wright, which I was saying we would have to move up for, right? I had Matthew Bergeron, who I said we would have to move up for. Then after that, I was like, well, Dallas, if we get past those guys, and I'm showing the list now, you know what I mean? I said we gonna have to do some reaching. You know what I mean? I said just go ahead and accept it. You know, I said go ahead and accept it. You gonna have to reach. Go get your guy, right? Because I was saying we gotta go fill that left guard with a Mauler, especially with what's sitting there for us, like Carter, like Hargraves, you know, stuff that's going on in the division with the growth of the interior guys. So I had a lot of people all the way down to even round 7. Like in round 7, I would have been content with Nick Broker. You know what I mean? I would have been content with Antonio Maffa in round 3 or 4. I would have been content with Nick I'm gonna mess up his name, but Nick out of Dominion, I would have been content with him in round 4, round 5. You know, as somebody that can come in here and be a strong mauler piece for that left guard. I wasn't even more so looking at it in round 2. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, wow, Osiris was sitting there. He had a top.
Yeah, that would be the one.
Yeah.
For me.
Oh, and he went right after us,
would
but
be the
then
one
it's
for me.
been reports of his work ethic and all this kind of stuff. So if you
That's
passed
right.
on them, I'm cool. It's others, but
Yeah,
it was more
and I
so.
think the Cowboys knew that.
It's more so, Pastor, that we got wiped out. That's what really kind of got me.
That's what it is.
That's what got me
That's what
like,
it is.
oh my God, like we. It's like, are we still now just looking at, like when you go look at the options we have at guard, it's kind of womp. You know what I mean? Like, you know, unless they do something creative.
I feel you. But I think we got enough people in the room. I really think we got enough people in the room, and I'm not just saying that to be positive, to be optimistic. I think when they made that move, because I think they tried to get I can't even pronounce his name, man, but the guard from the Jets. I can't pronounce his name that we got.
Chuma.
Whatever his
Chuma.
name is.
His name is Chuma.
When they got him, I think that I think, if I'm not mistaken, Craig, I think he was drafted by Dan Quinn, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
And
to
then
Atlanta.
He went to the Jets. Yeah, so he got drafted by Dan Quinn, so there's some familiarity there. I think that he is the one that they're thinking about, and that's the one that nobody's talking about, and I kind of like that. I like that he's kind of like this quiet, just running by because he was a third-round pick.
Yeah.
When you come to, if they had information on your boy from Florida about his work ethic, I can understand the passing. What I was asking, though, is Schoonmaker, they knew he would have been gone. He would have been gone if they didn't draft him right there. So I understand the logic of saying, well, let's go ahead and get him here so we don't have to reach. But I'm saying, what other player in the draft that you feel could benefit our team that if we didn't take Schoonmaker there, not necessarily offensive guard, but what other player in the draft? The only other player that I can think of right off top that I would have been cool drafting there at number 2 spot was probably Jalen Hyatt, just as a receiver. Now, if we would have done that
too.
That would have.
See, that's a whole nother conversation, Coach. I mean,
It is,
Pastor.
but I'm saying about this. You saying I'm comparing it to the Christian Hill, DJ Metcalf. You're talking about best player,
Yes,
not just necessarily
I
best
agree.
position, just best player.
Right.
And I think that would have been a good player right there, knowing that, you know what, go ahead and get him, because that immediately shifts everything.
Yeah.
Because this is a Blitnikoff winner, man. But I'm cool with Schoonmaker, man. But I think Jalen Hyatt would have been good right there. And some people say, well, there's a reach. I don't think that would have been a reach, because if you pick in 58, you pretty much picking the third round anyway.
Right.
And I think that would have been good. But
Yeah.
what do we know, man?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, we can have this conversation, and I appreciate that we having this conversation because, it's one of those things that I know a lot of people want to have, and I don't want them to feel like they got to be silent. You know what I mean? Because I always call the off season a time of illogical optimism. Every year it's illogical optimism. It's in the off season that they were selling us, oh, we gonna be better without Amari Cooper. So because we just signed Michael Gallup and he's gonna be back by week 1. He's gonna be ready to see. That was illogical. That was illogical.
It was.
But they were selling it anyway. They kept selling it. Oh, we got Michael Gallup. We just signed Schultz, and it looked like our offense is gonna be ready to go. And then they also sold us in the offseason receiver by committee. And I remember what they were saying. Oh yeah, we're gonna be better because the defense is not going. So it's like I'm seeing left guard by committee right now. Can I be honest? I'm seeing left guard by committee.
I see it.
And it's one of those things to where I'm my heart want to believe it, but my mind not registering. I'm just being all the way honest. My mind is not clicking unless you put me a monster there. I'm not believing that these Band-Aids are gonna be able to stand up to those monsters to come. That's coming, because it's monsters coming. You know what I mean? We got. Like, I ain't afraid of Philly, but I respect what they did. They got the number 1 D tackle and it's like I'm over here looking at Ball gotta take a second jump, and I'm not even sure if he even though I liked his run blocking, I'm not sure if he go really successfully make that transition. And if he don't, then that means we stuck just like we was stuck with receiver by committee until it got rescued by Cooper. Like, I'm really thinking about all that stuff. I'm not just sitting back like, are we good? I'm more like, I'm not buying it. Just being real, I'm not buying it, and I want answers. And I don't like them talking in code. I'm tired of still is ahead of schedule. No, okay, at this point, where them boys go play? I want to know, because if I'm sitting up here looking at a Band-Aid going against Carter, I ain't gonna be cool with that. I'm gonna be like, bro, what are we doing? Like, we running out there with Chaz Green thinking that's not getting ready to get killed. You know what I mean?
But hey, boss, let me run this by you though, man, and then I'll let you go. I feel everything you're saying, given your history, given your experience and what you've seen. But what I do like is the fact that I like that it's up in the air, because I don't think anything is going to be solved till we get to training camp. And the other point of it is nobody talking about Chuma.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm gonna do with Chuma.
They keep talking about, well, let's go.
No, I'm with you.
Saying nothing about Chuma.
They ain't saying nothing about Chuma, and they ain't saying nothing about Collins. So this is what I'm gonna do. I know I got to do a film session on Chuma because I want the answers. I don't want to speculate, is he that guy? I want to look at the film. Because, see, when I looked at the film on Curse, I felt confident that he was that guy. Even though people was calling him a jag. See, we was calling him a jag the whole time, and I was saying, no, he's not no jag.
He went to Clemson. He went to Clemson. I would call him. I've seen him play at Clemson.
Yeah, I watched him play at Clemson. Then I watched him play at Minnesota and Detroit. So I was like, nah, that dude ain't no jag. He was just in a deep room. You know what I mean?
And what was the difference? And the difference was
opportunity
and coaching.
So, and
opportunity.
Well,
and
I think it was more so opportunity with him because he was just that dude. He was always that dude to me. He just was in a deep room.
So take that same logic. Take that same logic. And the reason why I brought
I gotta see it though, Coach. I gotta see it.
Pastor. Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So when I look at the film, and I'm gonna do it in front of everybody, I'm gonna break it down. If I see a guy that's a sleeper, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say, oh, y'all feel good.
Okay.
Based on the film I just watched, he gonna be great at left guard. But if I see Womp Womp, I'm gonna be like, y'all, don't try to sell me that this dude is the answer. Cause I'm gonna be like, nah, I ain't hearing that. I'm not approaching this with hope. I'm approaching this with real faith, where it's action. Like, what's the action that we go take? You know what I mean? What are the real things we go do? Because we have walked into seasons with blind, silly hope before, i.e. receiver by committee. So I'm double checking their work. I really am.
I think the only thing I'll say that this situation is different is because of the continuity of the offensive line being established, where you got to have somebody in there. And I say the coaching is because I've seen the film study that you and the OC did on Avante Collins, and I watched Avante Collins in the preseason.
Yeah, I think he'll hold up okay.
He's more than serviceable.
Yeah,
and that's why I bring in coaching.
I would feel
comfortable. I think there was something that Philbin had in the room that didn't like him, because it didn't make no sense why he didn't get no shot. He should have got a shot. So I think that's coaching. That's why I'm saying now under the new coaching regime that we have in the offensive line, maybe there's that sense where if Collins, Chuma, or whoever, there's some people that they look past, because I don't know if Philbin have favors or not, but I think that we'll be able to fill that hole there to go look at that, because that's gonna make the difference, man. And I really think it is, man. I really think it is, man. So I'm
gonna go
saying
through the
Chuma
film.
or Collins.
I'm gonna go through the film and I'm gonna confirm that. You know what I mean? I'm just like Ronald Reagan. I trust like you, but I'm gonna verify. You know what I mean? And I want to feel good going into training camp, because honestly, right now I do not. Just being honest. But thank you, Pastor.
Not a problem, man. And this is the last thing I'll say, man. If this is our only concern, man, the hindsight in 2020 is we still went 12-5. And we had questions at left guard in the season. And we still went 12-5. It was almost there. And the upgrades that we did make with Cooks and Gilmore and the heavy defensive draft that we went with, because that boy for Hoko is the truth. Ogeron is the truth. So we got some pieces that we added to it. And I know Philly's going to have a harder schedule because they're playing that first team schedule, and they haven't played that in probably the last 5-6 years. So they're really going to see what it's going to be like. I still think we're going to be all right. It comes down to health and execution. That's what it comes down to, man. Are we gonna be healthy in the right spots and be able to execute?
And
I appreciate you,
aggression.
man.
And aggression, Pastor. So we got to be aggressive.
I think we got that though. I think these boys hungry. We got some dogs,
No,
man.
I'm talking about
And I told
aggression,
Law,
like making aggressive decisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I got you. Aggressive from the front office. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Front
aggressive.
office. But we
Yeah,
got
coaches,
we got
like,
some dogs.
do what you got to do on this one. Like, screw the crowd, screw anybody. If you got to move, if you got to move Terrence Steele in the left guard to fill that hole, I don't care. Because I laughed at it at 1st. I ain't laughing now.
You thought
I'm
about
not
it.
laughing.
You thought about it.
It's
like,
because we got wiped out. It's like, what else we going to do now? Like, at first, when I was looking at all these guard options, I was bougie, coach. I mean, Pastor, I was bougie. I was like, oh, we finna fill that hole. I was like, oh, we finna win it. I was cocky. But then I watched us get wiped out. I'm over here nervous. I'm like, well, what we gonna do? See, this is the thing. People trying to act like left guard is just okay. No, it's not.
No,
that is
not,
guard by
not.
committee. I ain't believing in it. Well, let me say this.
Okay.
Let me just do the film breakdown.
Do the film.
Let me do the film, and I'll get out my feelings.
Do the film.
Yeah, that'll get me out my feelings. The film go get me out my feelings.
Do it compared to Conor McGuffin.
Yeah, ooh, that's
gonna
good
be your time. That's gonna be your time. Compare Conor
Chuma
McGuffin
and Cumham. That's a good one. Chuma, that's a good one. That's a good one. Because if he looking better than Conor McGovern, you right. That's the benchmark for 12-5. I agree.
That's right.
That's perfect. That's a perfect. I got 2 good film ideas from my last 2 callers. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna do every one of them too. We go compare Chuma and McGovern because that's league and league. That's left guard and left guard. Then we go do Ferguson and Schoonmaker. You know what I'm saying? So because we just trying to go into the season trying to make sure ain't no wee woos going on, Pastor. You with me?
That's right.
Cause I'm only let you wee woo me once. I ain't gonna let you wee woo me 3 times.
Nah.
No way. You know what I mean?
I deal in truth, man. I ain't no wee woo. I deal in truth, man.
No, I know you do. I know you do. And Pastor, keep me in prayer. Keep me in prayer.
Yes,
I know you're a praying man. Keep me in prayer. Okay?
Do this for me, boss man. Text me your real name, man. This is my phone. Just text me your real name. So when I pray, I want to call your real name. Because I want to be like Boss Cowboy to Jesus, even though I know he know who you is.
Yeah, he gonna be like, yeah, that's my boy, Boss. Yeah, I'm the one gave him that alias. I'm the one that inspired it in his heart. I'll text you your real name.
Yeah, man, I'll do that.
All right, Pastor.
All right, man. Take care, man.
Okay.
All right, be blessed.
Let me call my girl. She want this smoke. I'm gonna give it to her too. Star been asking. She been wanting to fight over this.
Forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Ain't that something? So Star been saying call her. I call her and then it go to voicemail. See, Star. Then boss call me, Paul. Boss call me. Then you get the call. You don't answer.
Hello.
All right, what's up, man? You want some smoke? Let's go.
Yeah, I called you like 14 times. I said, boss, I was saying, I gotta get off, gotta go with Jay Tuck. I ain't gonna be able to talk to you. But anyway, can y'all hear me first of all?
Man, get off your Bluetooth. You always see you be calling in trying to be cool out driving in your car, got your Bluetooth all. No, we can't hear you.
Oh my God. Okay.
Come on, see, you do this every time. You call in and you be having like some Bluetooth going on. You be in a toilet.
Can y'all hear me now?
Say it again. I can look at the sound bar.
Can everybody hear me now?
Oh, man, let me just turn my music down because see, you just require so much extra work, Star. Let me just because you said you want to box. I like to fight, so let's go. I turned off the music. Let's go. Come on.
Y'all can hear me now?
They gonna be able to hear you. Let's go. I turned off the music. Ain't no distractions. Because you said you want to fight. Because I like to fight. So what's up?
Yeah, about this Schoonmaker pick. So
okay.
First, I'll go ahead and say that I was with everybody else when we announced this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I too was shocked. I thought we were going to get Drew Sanders. That was the guy that I thought we should have gotten, and that's why, as Pastor asked you, who was your DK guy? I think Drew Sanders had that quality.
Okay.
I was also worried about. I didn't know that the team was out on Osiris draft night, so I found that out after that people didn't like him because his effort, and basically they think he another Lyle Collins, Kelvin Joseph, just a guy who's not going to do what he's supposed to do, even though he got talent. So moving on. So yeah, draft night, my grade for the pick would be a D-. So I'm with everybody on the shock, and I'll be transparent too. Like, I remember seeing Luke versus TCU in the actual game, but no, I did not go. I did not go watch film. I didn't even bother really to delve into too much film on tight ends. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, we not drafting no tight end at 26. I don't care. Like, I was 100% not on that, and I'm glad the Bills jumped us to get Kincaid. But anyway, so as I am making my draft review presentation and stuff like that, I decided to go ahead and watch Luke just to see what his film is like. I know, and I listened to what Lunda Wells had said about him on the draft show, saying that he is the best blocking tight end in the league. I mean, in the draft class. And then as well as, this guy's physical. Everybody on the draft show, Kyle Yeoman, Aisha Morrison, everybody had nothing but positive things to say about Luke. And nobody really thought that it was a reach. But, of course, they're on the Dallas Cowboys network, so, sometimes they don't.
So, is this your pushback? Is this it?
Huh?
Was this your pushback?
Is this my pushback? Well, first of all, one of my pushbacks was regarding, because you said, who would you rather you said, who would you rather guard? Oh, yeah, who would you rather guard, a dynamic tight end or a dynamic wide receiver? And I said, well, I think you're a quarterback, boss, so I can't argue about who is the most scariest.
You can give your opinion. Ain't nobody, no, we ain't trying to bully you out your opinion.
I'm saying, because me in the chat, I said, well, it depends on scheme. But what I'm talking about is, well, who's the most of, when it comes to, it may not be that they're necessarily as scary as guarding a wide receiver like Ron Gronkowski versus Randy Moss, but you have to say, when it comes to putting up points, especially in playoffs, who is right now the leading receiver in playoffs of all time?
I would assume Jerry Rice.
That's correct. And who's after Jerry Rice?
For the playoffs?
Yeah.
It's going to probably be Gronk.
It's Kelsey.
Okay,
and then after Kelsey is Gronk.
Gotcha. So that's your case?
So
your case?
My case is, are you going to let me talk?
Yeah, of course. I was just trying to make sure that's your case. I was trying to figure out what your case was. So
Yeah.
I want to hear it. So I just want to be clear.
So my case is they may not be as scary physically for a cornerback to guard, but when it comes to the dynamicness, if you have a tight end that's dynamic, that tight end can end up doing more damage than, say, an elite wide receiver. Because the position of the tight end is deceptive. So the whole reason I go back to our playoff game, not our playoff game, but opening week 2021 versus Tampa, you remember that touchdown where it looked like Rob Gronkowski was blocking, and then he just went right past Donovan Wilson and got a touchdown on us at the goal line? So is that those types of things. You see, with a wide receiver, when we had a dynamic wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb, until CeeDee fully emerged, it was just play the bracket game, the double team game, and you can kind of take him out unless you're like Dez Bryant or somebody else. But even look at Rob Gronkowski. How many people did it take to guard him? How many people try to constantly cover Kelsey, but they can't guard him? They even bracket Kelsey. You'll see 4 to 5 people around him, and he still can't be guarded. So I think, when you have a dynamic tight end, I think that they can also be scary. They can also be efficient. And they can also put up tons of points on your scoreboard, which can cause you to win championships. So that's my argument against that. I don't know if you care to counter it, but that's my argument about the tight end. Now, one thing, I'm not saying that Luke Schoonmaker is Kelsey. First of all, I'll just throw this out there. Luke Schoonmaker is not going to. He's not going to be. He was not brought here now to be a dynamic pass catcher. So even comparing his, to the other picks like Travis Kelce and all the dynamic pass catchers, Rob Gronkowski, he's not brought here to do that. He has an upside to where he can be that, but the reason why he was brought here is because of his blocking ability. And I can say I've watched the film, so I've watched him today extensively to see is he even that great of a blocker, and I would have to say, yeah, he is. To me, his passing sets in his run blocking sets look like an actual offensive lineman. And then on top of that, his ability to he was stonewalling. I watched the Penn State, one of the games I watched was Penn State. He's stonewalling linebackers. So when you're stonewalling linebackers and then he's guarding defensive ends one-on-one and able to get pushed, he's able to punch and repunch. Like, he was brought here because of his elite blocking. And I know people might say, well, who gives an F? Why would we draft? Who cares about blocking? Because that's what they said about Zeke. Who cares about blocking? No one cares. We don't need a blocker. We can just bring in a fifth-round pick. He'll do the exact same thing as Zeke. But I think it comes to the point of the not only can you do it, but what's your willingness. And that's another thing that Lundewell said about him is that he's 100% willing. He wants to block. Like, he wants to maul guys. And I think that's a type of attitude.
Did you see Mauler on the film that you watched? Did you see Mauler or blocker?
Yeah, I see.
You saw Mauler?
No. I saw Mauler. I saw sustained blocks, too.
You saw him sustain blocks? You saw him, like, finishing? Did you see him pancake anybody? Did you see him pancake anybody?
Pancake specifically, no. But I saw him, like, push when guys, what I call it, bulldoze guys, where it's like they like push him off the film. You know what I'm saying? Like those types of guys. That's the type of guy that he is. Okay. I saw him completely. Guys try to bull rush him, and he literally stand there like against linebackers and DEs, like no problem at all. I saw defensive ends try to do a counter move and flip him, and he was able to. He's quick enough to able.
Do you remember which defensive end?
Get back around.
Do you remember which defensive end it was and what team?
It's for versus Penn State. I have to go back and tell you. I can DM it to you when I get off the phone with you.
That's cool. So let me.
I can DM you the defensive end and the linebacker.
So
the linebacker.
A couple of things, just to be all the way honest with you on how I see it. Okay, I don't really trust what them coaches say because they go sell the pick. That's what they do. Because remember, see, they want us optimistic. See, Law said one of the smartest things I've ever heard. Matter of fact, Law said this, and I asked him to repeat it 3 times because it was so powerful. He said, a person that profits off the blind would never teach them how to see. So, I'm going to say that again, not to you, but for everybody. He said, a person that profits off the blind would never teach them how to see. Man, that was such a powerful statement from Law. He said that this draft weekend. It was powerful. So this is the thing about that. I remember what they said when they came out with Tristan Hill. I remember. They sold it like we just got a super day one impactful defensive tackle. All of them sold it too. Will McClay, all of them sold it. And I was over here like, nope. Because, see, I knew his tape, and I knew that his motor has always been fantastic, Star. Fantastic. But I also knew usually around the second round, those types of players usually take a little while to develop, like year 3. So I was like, they selling that this dude finna be instant impact. But only people that I usually see as instant impact are top 15 type people. That's why I also like the Mozzie pick, because Mozzie has at least top 15 upside. So I can believe that he go be instant impact. Osa, in my opinion, matter of fact, is an anomaly. Like how he came out hot his first 10 games, that don't happen generally. You know what I mean? So I know Coach Wells said this, and I know the draft team said that, you know, and I heard them, and I'm like, I hear you, But I'm like Ronald Reagan. I'm going to do just like you. I'm going to go back and check. And if I do see an amazing blocker and a mauler and a finisher, I'm going to be like, yeah, I see it. Like, I see exactly what they talking about. But if I don't, I'm going to also say that as well. And that's all I'm saying is I got to see it first. And I'm not acting like I've done a lot of homework on his blocking. I haven't. The first thing that I watched on him, was his ability to separate, and I didn't really think I saw it. So I'm gonna go take a whole nother look. I could be wrong on all. I'm gonna go take a whole nother look. But it's one of them things to where I gotta see it first, and when I see it, then I'll say whatever I see, if it's good, bad, or medium. But in terms of selling me on like tight ends being more dynamic than receivers, I say absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. Not even close. So it's not even close. Like, and I'm saying that from somebody who used to have to defend them guys. And I can talk about that historically from the receivers that hit the league. Receivers usually have a way better return on investment than tight ends. I'm talking about
and I know
way
your argument
better.
on that.
So, like, for
Because
instance,
you said,
Amari,
you bring up Chris Olave and them.
Yeah, Chris Olave, and even all the excuses they make for Pitts. They make all kind of excuses for him. He need a quarterback. He need this. It's like every time it's a tight end, and every tight end you mention either had a super coach, a super quarterback, or a super team. But see, I see a lot of receivers don't have none of that, and they make it happen. Hopkins, for the longest, didn't have no quarterbacks, and he was banging 1,000 every year. Amari had the red rifle, Ben DiNucci, and he still got 1,000. You know what I mean? So it's like, now it's tight ends need quarterbacks. They also need systems that cater to them. They need the world to be better than the receiver. A lot of times receivers just need to show up. And when they show up and they better than you, the film just said, I'm better than you. I'm quicker than you. I look better than you. You can't do nothing about me. To me, that's the real world when you're going against a receiver. That's just my opinion, all the way. And I stand on that. I stand. Yeah. And I'm honestly, because see, I'm tired of like what Bobby Bell said, because if you got a dynamic receiver or dynamic tight end, you take the tight end all day because there's an automatic mismatch. But yet,
I don't agree with that.
You hardly seeing any of them get over 700 yards. Hardly any of them. Yeah. And then you got to go to the best of all of them to try to get a consistent 1,000 out of any of them. You know what I'm saying? You got to go. It's like, no, man, I ain't buying that. No.
Yeah, I
like,
feel
I'm
that.
taking, like, for instance, what Pastor said,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the thing I'm going to be on next year if these tight ends end up flaming out again. We got to say it like it is. Forget these tight ends. I'm putting running backs over them, and I'm putting receivers over them in terms of positional priority. Every time.
Okay.
Because the production say to do that. And it's, to me, goofy. Like, how we go look at the Pitt running back literally get 1,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, run a 4.2, and we be like, you can get that anywhere. You don't get 4.2 anywhere. You don't get 20 touchdowns. But then we'll go look at Schoonmaker, and we'll be like, he got 400 yards, but I think he finna just take us over the top. With 500 yards, it's like, it's like even if you, and then the only thing you selling me is his score, his athletic. Look at his score, boss.
Yeah.
Boss, look at his score. Can I look at that and his production?
Yeah.
Can I look at?
I'm glad you broke down.
All you get, because see, we used to say back in the day. This is what we used to say. I don't care about underwear Olympics, but all of a sudden with tight ends, that's all we care about. Look at his RAS score, boss. Look at his RAS score. What? Like, what about? Oh, so I'm supposed to care about what he did on the field? So I'm gonna go look, and then I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be all the way honest with you. This is why I feel like woo to me. I got a problem when the only thing you can sell me on the second round on tight end is RAS score and his blocking. I got a problem with that. Because I want more than that out my tight end. I don't want just a tight end that can, because we did damn good with a tight end that couldn't block. Schultz. We did real good with a tight end who couldn't block. So I just saying, like, I'm over here like, you know, I'm gonna keep record, and I'm gonna do a good job of this. I'm gonna keep a whole record of all the people that was passed up. I promise you, next year I'm gonna look at all them running backs. From this year, I'm gonna look at them running backs. I'm gonna look at the receivers. I'm gonna add up the production, and I bet not see all the tight ends that was hyped up with 300 yards, 200 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then all the dudes who was shunned and called, oh, you can go find anybody. They better not be exploding, because I'm going to be at war with tight end. The war already started with me, but I'm going to be official. I'm going to start lunching bombs on it. I'm going to be like, listen, I'm not taking no more at all the hypocrisy and the wee-woo that comes with this position. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of, oh, you can go find anybody to do what running backs do, and then you got literally the exact same situation with tight end, but worse, to where all your best was third rounders, fifth rounders, and third rounders, but y'all continue to sell us that you got to get them in the first, though. You got to get him. That's 2 different messages with way different performances. I ain't falling for it. I ain't going for it. I'm going to be spitting on it. I'm going to be like, please, you can take that to them other teams. I ain't taking it. Take that to them dumb teams down the street. When it comes to my team, we need to catch up to reality. And the reality is this. These linebackers, these tweeners has caught up. Ain't nobody saying it, but I'm going to tell you now. They have caught up. The league is full of Jabril Coxes. The league is full of Jerron Curses. The league is full of the tweeners. It's full of them. And they've been doing it for the last 10 years to stop the Wittens, the Olsens. That's what they've been doing, because Witten them was killing those bulky linebackers. And I get it. I see a lot of people say, I trust Will McClay. I trust, see, that's a go-to. In my opinion, that's a go-to cop-out to just say, I trust the process. That's a go-to cop-out. So, did you trust Will McClay when he picked Taco? Because it wasn't him that actually picked Taco, but it was under him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my boy Jay Tuck.
Yeah.
Jay Tuck, I think
Go
he's
ahead.
finna come on. Hold on, let me see if I can get my boy Jay Tuck on, because I want to talk about one more thing with him. Let me see if I got Tuck here. Hold on. Dog. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to send Tuck a link. I'm going to figure out how to get my boy Tuck on right now. But yeah, man, appreciate it. Star, did you have anything else? Star. Hello? She said, and I don't hear nothing. Hello? All right, let me call my boy Tuck. I'm going to try to get Tuck on this way. I'm going to just talk ball with the OG real quick. Instead of doing a whole new show. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm calling Tuck right now.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Tuck, I got you on live, bro. Can we do it this way?
Yeah, we can do it this way. What's going on, everybody?
What's up, man? So what I wanted to talk to you about, big dog, and we was gonna do a whole nother stream to have this conversation, but I wanted to talk to you about what came out today. You know, with them having that debate. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the whole debate was interesting. So I know initially when I was tagged into it, they were talking about the conversations between Steve Avila and then Steve Avila, whatever, and versus Mozzie Smith. But then it came out that it was about Matt Bergeron, tackle, versus Mozzie Smith. So I understand the conversation that Mike McCarthy and Will McClay was having about impacting the trenches. But what really stuck out when they were talking about the depth of the offensive line, that's when I kind of sat up in my chair and was like, where? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Where? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's this depth? You know? But then it really goes back to what we've been talking about, you know, this entire draft process, boss, is they really believe in Matt Waletzko, and they're also going to give Josh Ball this opportunity. So for in their minds, they're thinking the Matt Farniok's and the Josh Balls and the Matt Bergeons, not Matt Bergeons, but Matt Waletzko's, that's their depth. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like me, I was just saying in my live show, I don't feel that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not comfortable with that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So then they made the move to get Mozzie, which I understand because it's a great value pick. It's a need. It fits everything that we're trying to do. But then here's my concern, boss. You're having this back and forth about addressing the offensive line or going defensive tackle in the first round.
And
how did it get neglected all the way into the 5th round? That's what I don't understand.
Bro, this is why I love Tuck right here, bro. Because, bro, I've been waiting on somebody to say what you just said, bro. I felt like I was alone until I just talked to you, bro. You ever felt alone?
Yeah.
God, dog, I feel that exact same way. And see, because cause see, and then to me, people dancing around it now. People dancing around. The off-season optimism got people kind of being crazy right now, where they acting like we're okay, we're fine. No. Before the draft, all of us was like, the clear blinking light is left guard. It is really not different,
right? Bro, and that's what I was saying this morning on Twitter. It's so crazy to me how everyone switched up. Because remember, we would have mocks about Bijan. We would have mocks about Bijan. We don't need a running back. We need to get the offensive line, right? Oh, we could put a tight end out there. We don't need that. Or a wide receiver. We don't need that. We need offensive line. So now all of a sudden the fan base completely shifted where, oh, we're okay. And I'm like, how do we get there? And it's just like, I just don't understand the philosophy. If you were talking about addressing the offensive line in the first round, how did you abandon it all the way into the 5th?
Can we talk real, Tuck? Can we talk real? Because this is the thing. I know we can talk real.
Yeah.
This was a budget draft.
Right.
This was a budget draft. Now, everybody trying to swallow it like it's a contending draft. I like what we did, boss. I think we're okay, boss. I think we're going to be fine, boss. No, this was a budget draft. Stephen Jones did what he does. That's why when we was doing those draft shows, we said before it happened, which one of these picks are going to be contending picks, didn't we? Future picks or both, right? So now we trying to act like we don't understand what that means. You know, what a contending pick is, right? What a future pick is. Let's be honest. Most of those picks was about replacing balls in the future, where they gonna have those dudes playing special teams. I ain't too mad at it. And based on that strategy, I would give them a good grade on that strategy. On that strategy, I give them a B+. On the all-in strategy, I give them a F.
Yeah. I agree, because and here's what people have to understand. This is 2 years of this philosophy. Now everyone's going to say, well, Tuck and Boss, I mean, they killed it last year with Tyler Smith and Sam Williams and DeRon Bland. What people fail to understand, Boss, if it was not for injuries, how many of the players that we drafted last year, we even sniffed the field? DeRon Bland was all injuries. Sam Williams was rotation. Jalen Tolbert wasn't even active. Ferguson only got activated pretty much because when Dalton Schultz get down. That's when he got his opportunity. So it's like Tyler Smith,
injury.
Tyler Smith, injury, Yep. So you could probably say Matt Waletzko, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get it, but it's like, for the Cowboys fans like you and I and a lot of people that watch our content who are in win now mode, that's why the draft kind of felt dumb. You know what I'm saying? Because we saw a team that went all in and win now mode last year, right? Got to the Super Bowl, they fell short. depleted their defensive roster, right? Lost their offensive coordinator, lost their defensive coordinator, and went right back into win now mode. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it was just like, and I felt like the way the Cowboys handled free agency, it was like, okay, we can really put our foot on their neck and create separation and kick them while they're down. And we open the window for not only the Eagles, but also the Giants to really gain a lot of space. And so I get it, Cowboys Nation. As fans, we always have to spin it, right? You know what I'm saying? No one to say, man, we flopped in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we got to wear that pride and kind of put this we'll see thing. But a lot of people who's watching your channel right now, they didn't see the hours and hours and hours and hours of work that you put in and others have put in. We know that there was a lot more available, and the Cowboys left meat on the table.
They did,
we know
bro.
that.
They did.
They did.
They really did. And I'm just glad that you got the courage to speak honest about that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
It's like, and, you know, and that's why I respect you, bro, because it's hard to just kind of say it like that. And I said it's kind of like you said it yesterday when I was talking to one of my brothers who's, you know, I would call one of the positive brothers, you know, where they only see everything is A+ in the draft. I'm like, cool. I said, but I said exactly what you said. I said, I hate that we had a chance to, like, super separate. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if we would have just knocked out or got aggressive. Let's say if we did this. Let's say if we said, you know what? This year, let's just say forget trying to find a replacement for Curse right now.
Right.
Let's use that pick to go get Matthew Bergeron. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's go get that Mauler left guard so that we can go ahead and go head up with Philly, San Fran, and all these other teams that's trying to close the gap. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
But we still sitting there with Band-Aids. You know, we really are. We sitting there with Band-Aids, but we gonna be fine. Now, I want to talk to you about one more thing, big dog.
Yeah.
I want to run an idea by you. I don't know if you watched it. Did you watch the show yesterday? I did.
I did. I didn't get a chance to peep it.
Okay, perfect. That's even better. That's perfect because you didn't hear what I'm getting ready to say there. Tuck, don't laugh, all right? I got to hit a button. I got to hit effect. Brace yourself, okay? All right? Don't laugh. Don't laugh. All right? I'm bracing you. I got this. I got this effect first. Let me get this effect. Do not laugh. What I'm finna say.
All right.
Hear me out. I think we do need to consider being creative when he get back with Terrence Steele. I do. Okay. Like, even potentially left guard. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. Because I was thinking, Tuck, and I'm just keeping it real. Ain't no way all of us was over here because me and you know, we've been watching right. The number one player that Dallas Cowboy fans wanted from a tweet that went out, and they polled this, it was Darnell Wright. So how can we be for Darnell Wright and saying we just want to put him somewhere to make this the best 5, but then be against it for Terrence Steele? Now, before the draft, I laughed at the idea. But now, after the draft, looking at that massive gaping hole at left guard.
Well, it's not as crazy as it sounds, boss. Because remember, before the draft happened, that's what Jerry said his idea was.
Yeah.
That you're going to have Tyler at left tackle, Tyron at right, and then Terrence can play left guard or also play right tackle as well. So, you know, the conversation's in-house somewhere. You know, it's just like, I just don't, because here's what you can do, right? You can run out there with Tyron, Tyler, and then have Terrence at your right tackle. But soon as Tyron goes down, then what happens? And then you're really banking your trust on Matt Waletzko. And now maybe Matt Waletzko is him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we just haven't seen it. But from the glimpses that I got last year, I just didn't feel like that's it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just feel like the thing about Matt Waletzko that really gets me is that it's the ego, boss. Because remember, who was the Amari Cooper pick? That's Matt Waletzko. So they are going to do everything they can to show that they got the proper value from moving on from Coop, getting that 5th round pick, and then taking that tackle. So he's going to get the opportunity, but it's like, do you trust it? And the one thing I would hate is that this team is fully equipped to make another run. Tyron does what he does, and then we play musical chairs with our offensive line again, and then that's what happens, and that's the way happens. Because
no. Say it straight. You was basically saying that could be the downfall of us. I know where you was going.
That could be the downfall, because I didn't walk out of San Francisco last year or the last 2 years feeling like, damn, if we just had a better tight end, we would have won that game.
Right.
We got whipped in the interior in our offensive line.
Thank you.
And San Francisco, not only Philly, but San Francisco has lowered the clip with the defensive line again. So it's like, that's where I was like, all right, let's beef up in the interior. So you know what? We take that away from them. Now it's really firepower on firepower. You know what I'm saying?
Tuck. That's exactly what I'm saying, bro. Everything you just said is trying to get firepower on firepower.
Right.
See, that's the reason why I'm considering it, because I got here the contingency plans on the show. Okay. So if we did go with, let's say, and on the left side, you can switch that. I don't care how you do it. All right. I don't care how you do it. You can go.
While we go, hold on. Okay, cool. I see.
Okay, I don't care how we do it. We can switch Steele to left tackle. We can put Tyler inside. I don't care. But the main thing that Tuck and I is talking about is that middle three. That middle three. Because the middle three, in my opinion, is the difference from us being able to really walk all over teams. So if we even look at this left side, you will now have 2 crazy maulers on the left. Your left side will probably get your best push by a mile. You know what I mean? If you now I know a lot of people like, oh no, boss. Listen, that's why I say I don't care how you do it. I'm not trying to have one way. You can do it in multiple ways, but I think we need to consider the true best 5. The true best 5. And keep Tyron Smith at right tackle, because then, in my opinion, that allows Matt Lewesko to get the eventual developmental reps.
You had me nervous. I thought that was Josh Ball's, but he Josh Ball down. Okay, I was about to say.
Josh Ball at the bottom.
Okay,
Yeah, I got him over there swing. You know what I'm saying? As a swing tackling guard.
Cool.
But
all right, cool.
Because I wouldn't even mind if Matt Lewesko played the right tackle, because that's not Dak's blind side. You know what I mean?
Right.
If everybody that's saying I want Tyron Smith at the left, well, what you're really saying is you really go eventually get Matt Lewesko to play the left. I wouldn't want that. I would want to start them how they starting, where they have Tyron Smith at the right. You have to get creative on the left. I actually think they doing this, Tuck, in their mind. And I believe that's why he said we have more maulers on the offensive line than we have at one tech. So let's ask this question. That's why I want to talk to you, because I know you're a detective like me. Me and you got the detective minds. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's try to work through this. Who are the maulers on the offense if line? Who the maulers?
So our maulers is Terrence.
Yep.
Tyler.
Yep.
I mean, Zach's just Zach. You know, I wouldn't call him a mauler. He's a little bit do everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Terrence and Tyler are really those guys.
Yes. I see it that way too. I would even give potentially even Ball a small chance at being a mauler. You know what I mean? He ain't no official mauler, but you know what I mean. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying.
Right. He's more of a brute than he's a dancer. He's not finesse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he not finesse. I can give him that. Now his pass pro, I'm like, get out of here. But his run blocking, I really watched every one of his snaps, literally every one of them. I was impressed. You know.
Right.
So me and you agree though, bro, that the maulers, the primary people that we can just true call maulers, just maulers, Tyler and Terrence. So that mean they have to be thinking about, in my opinion, fixing that left side with them too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you're going to have to. You know, like I said, you know, Richards, who we drafted in the 5th round, I feel like he's a guy that can really step in eventually over time.
Who?
But he's more going to be your guy that can play your left tackle or your right tackle as well. So, you know, I feel like he might have the opportunity to get ball up out of there if given the right opportunity. But as of right now, your plan as of right now, that's as solid as it gets. Because I see people mentioning Chimu or whatever. From what I saw from the Jets, it just wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's like.
So hold on, Tuck. Let me slow you down just 1 second. You broke him down already? Because I haven't. You broke him down?
So I think Law did. I watched him from Law.
Okay.
I think
so
Law
you at least got eyes on it. I haven't put my eyes on him yet. I ain't gonna even lie. I haven't. But now with this, I will. So based on what you saw, you kind of getting that kind of womp womp vibe.
Yeah. I was smashing the button. I was smashing the button on him.
The womp womp.
Yeah, I smashed the button. I smashed the button. You know. And so, like, but we do have like your Matt Farniok and some other guys out there as well that can possibly step in, you know. But it's just like I don't feel it, boss. I'm not trying to play that game. You know what I'm saying,
bro? That caping.
Yeah. I just can't. I'm just not trying to play that game, especially with a position as critical because like we have everything solidified. Say what you want about the wide receiver, Michael Gallup, whatever. You know, I feel like okay, we're good there. Me personally, I felt like we were good with tight end, even with the young boys and Sean McKeon. I just feel like the one thing that could really impact us is our offensive line because we know injuries are going to add up throughout the course of a 17-game season. What is your backup plan? And like I said, from us having a conversation between defensive tackle and offensive line in the 1st round to holding off to the 5th round, it just didn't add up for me. It just didn't add up for me.
Yeah. There
were some other prospects, even if you went 3rd, you know, even if you went 4th, like there was Sidney Sal, there was some other guys there. They kind of just and Antonio Maffi. A lot of people have been talking about Antonio Maffi. I thought maybe that would be the slam dunk sleeper pick. Go ahead and get your baller and put him out. Yeah. So yeah.
Well,
here we are.
So let me ask you a question because see, my thing is this. I don't feel comfortable until I know the plan. Just keeping it real. Now, I know a lot of people trying to calm me down. There's a lot of people like, it's going to be okay, boss. Have some faith. Boss,
right.
Receiver by committee is going to work. Just trust the process.
Right.
So
just press Kellen Moore. Show him Moore is a great play caller. You know? You know?
No.
Yeah.
So what would make me feel better is if I knew the mauler. Because you said we got more maulers for this offensive line than we do at One Tech. I would want them at some point. I want to be able to rest my head knowing what's the plan for that left side. And I just we go eventually. No, they go sneak it out. I think they go try to sneak ball out there. That's what I think they go try to do. I really.
Well, they already said that they're moving ball to guard.
Yeah. I think they and see and I feel even more nervous about that because see I know Stephen Jones. He can get so diabolical in his plans to where he'll go out there with receiver by committee like it's getting ready to work. He'll do something like, hey, Gallup is fresh off of ACL. Let's sign him and let Amari go. But then people like, but Tuck and Boss, they word for nothing. No, I think we got some reasons to be like, bruh.
Right.
Like we saw us, like how many times, like we all know what it felt to watch Amari Cooper go and then watch the whole season need him.
And look how many resources, boss, they spent on trying to replace that one pick.
Right. So let's not act like we don't do crazy stuff. All this, I trust Will McClay. Okay, I trust Will McClay. No, we ain't gonna let y'all get by with this blanket statement of trust the process. No, I think everybody need to be asking questions like me and Tuck. Like, what's the plan for the left side?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, I understand everyone has a job to do. Will never tell anybody to sacrifice their money, their bread, their job. But that is the power of what we do. We can press the real questions. Because for me, if I was sitting in that press room, I would say, so what is it that you see in Luke Schoonmaker that you don't see in what you already have in 3 young tight ends that you already have in house?
Ooh. And see, listen, y'all, this is coming from Tight End King.
Yeah, y'all know
tight end.
Y'all know I should have been jumping on the table, and the fact that I felt like I got my punch to the stomach, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Hey, bro, I felt punched in the stomach, but the only thing that got me through was my Mauler list, because I was like, what was that? Like, I was kind of like, okay, all right.
I mean, So that's why there's questions that really needs to be asked. You know, like, and I feel like we didn't get those answers with this draft, and so nothing really makes sense. Like I said, because the fact that they were talking defensive tackle and offensive line in the round 1, how do you go to ignore that to day 3?
Hold on real quick. I gotta address one thing. One of my brothers, Forever DC, say the Cowboys don't care what we think. Yes, they do.
They absolutely do.
They greatly care what. Cause see, I'm gonna tell y'all something just real quick. I was watching Pick 6 Sports. John Machota was on Pick 6 Sports. I can play the clip right now. And John Machota said that Jerry and Steven get a report every day or every other day at the worst about what we're talking about and what's trending on social media from fans. So if they didn't care, why would you watch it every day?
Right.
Every day.
Right.
So our voices do matter. The faster we realize that together, the better we can actually make change. But if you don't believe it, you won't do nothing. See, it's a reason why Tuck put in work, because he know his voice matter. It's too many times I done saw Tuck come out with an idea, and I'll look out 3 days later and I'll see 4 or 5 articles saying exactly what he said.
It's the ripple effect.
What's going on? Hey, let me ask you a question. We talked about some behind the scenes. Have you been getting hacked lately?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, see, they don't know about that. So you getting hacked at the same time my stuff getting hacked.
Right.
Okay. Oh, so your Dallas Cowboy content, somebody coming after your content, coming after mine at the same. When did this happen to you? Did it happen yesterday and the day before?
It happened yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. This happened to me yesterday. Oh, but we don't matter.
Right.
So people coming after our pages, people like my Twitter right now is tripping. And at the same time, my BossCowboySports on Facebook is tripping. Tuck had to go change all his passwords. So we don't matter. So people literally targeting us, but we don't matter.
But let me I mean, not to toot my own horn, but let's say this, right? If you go through my Twitter, who told everyone the DeMario Overshown pick was going to happen before the card was in? Days ahead. I said, Cowboys Nation, if you want a free space, Overshown's your free space. The next day I said, listen, y'all want to kind of guess a pick? He's guaranteed to be a Cowboy. Before the pick was announced in the 3rd round, I said Overshown time.
Yep.
So it's like, I feel like we're getting too close to comfort because we can break down the trends. Earl Bostock from Kansas picked him up as undrafted free agent. We did the live show, right? When we talked on the final word, when we were doing linebacker and the stream cut off, I said, damn, I didn't get ready in my bag because I had Isaiah Land in the clip that I was going to talk about, right? Picked him up as a EFA. Darrell Johnson, I put out a tweet and said, listen, if y'all want someone to study, Darrell Johnson out of Liberty, that's a player you guys should go look because he's going to be in consideration for the Cowboys. It's all documented, y'all. So I think sometimes, and maybe we do get too damn loud. Like maybe sometimes I do feel like sometimes like, damn, Tuck, are you blowing up the spot? But they're definitely aware of what we do. They know who Boss Cowboy is. They know who Jay Tuck is. Trust me. Like I'm just out there, right?
And they know who y'all are. Because see, all of y'all voice matter too, because a lot of the discussions happen because of y'all. Like for instance, I'm doing 2 video breakdowns from my first 2 calls. You know what I mean? So they the ones who energized the content, and it came from them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now I'm gonna go do the work, but it's their voice that caused that echo. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then when I go do the work of breaking down, and it's gonna be in the public, so all this, he's a superior blocker, we getting ready to see. You know what I mean? Because that's what I said. I ain't doing no lip wrestling. I ain't listening to them sell me. Oh, he was the best blocker out of all the tight ends. Okay, I just want to see for myself. You know what I mean? I hear what you're saying, because y'all the same dudes who sold us on wide receiver by committee, and y'all the same dudes who sold me that Michael Gallup was going to be an ideal replacement for Amari Cooper. So you don't fool me once, you trying to fool me twice, you damn sure ain't going to fool me 3 times.
Facts.
Just what it is. So yeah, big dog, I this is the specific conversation I want to have with you. I want to ask you one more question before we get out of here, big dog.
Okay.
Would you feel just even a little bit better if you knew that left side was Tyler and Steele or Steele and Tyler? Would you feel better? And your swing was Matt Lewesco, would you be like, oh, let's rock?
Yeah, because you're solidifying the left side, and I feel like you have an easier transition with Matt on the right, so that way Dak can at least have his blind side protected.
Yeah, I feel the same way, bro. And see, and I'm glad that you didn't look at the show yesterday, because I wanted to get your honest, unfiltered, thoughtful opinion. You know what I mean? You know, and I'm gonna throw this out tomorrow, because we go do a show tomorrow. Me, Tuck, all of us on the Final Word. We go do a full draft recap. We go give honest grades. But this is what's gonna be different about our grading. Okay, most people just give a general grade, but in my opinion, you gotta grade this 2 ways. I want to get your thoughts on this, Tuck. I think we should grade it from, was it a contention grade, and was it a future grade? Because see, I can understand how people that's thinking about the future love this draft, right? When they we go replace this guy, we go replace that guy. I can see where this guy gonna be a dog into the future. Well, if you thinking like that, you thinking A, you thinking B. If you thinking contention, you over here like, You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think we gotta ask both of those questions. Let's all get on record with each pick, because my pick for the future for Schoonmaker is gonna be good. My grade for now is gonna be bad. I ain't gonna even lie to you, it's gonna be real bad. It's gonna probably be like an F. But for the future, I'll probably give it a B, C, A. Something I think about it after I watch this film. You know what I mean? But what's your thoughts on that, big dog, before we get out of here?
Yeah, I agree. So I feel like this draft is real futurist, and I think that's why a lot of Cowboys fans just can't get behind it, because it just doesn't feel like this year is the year. And I think the frustrating aspect, right? Because that's why everyone's trying to toss in, well, we got Stephon Gilmore with one of those picks, so you got to toss him in, and Brandon Cooks and Hank, like they're trying to have that filler to feel like they went all in, but no, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Like I said, if you felt like the Cowboys on a scale out of 10 was an 8, then we left the draft delay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where we are. So and that's how it is. But it is what it is. You can't go back and change it. Yeah. It's stuck. But I felt like it was just kind of a numbing draft where it just didn't move the needle at all.
Tuck, let me ask you one more question. Do you think your research was a curse?
I mean, no.
You know what I mean by that? You know what I mean by that?
Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Like
where you know so many prospects that you actually know what we left.
What's available. Right. Yeah.
See, because I think that's what's making me and you like.
We've done too much. And that's why I said that on the Final Word, bro. With the amount of research that we've done, it takes the fandom out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't be like, oh man, God, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have that, because it's like I'm looking at the board where it's just like, you know what's available, because I don't think people understand the amount of research and the amount of film and the hours that went into doing this. We did a lot. Like I feel like I went overboard, right? But it's just like to the point where it's just like it doesn't feel the same. You know what I'm saying? Versus my first year before I started, when we got CeeDee Lamb, he was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just know, like, I'm looking at the board, was like, look, like if I say, well, damn, they said it had Sid and Sal there available, the average fan has no freaking idea
right
who the hell I'm talking about.
Right.
Like, who the hell is Sid and Sal? Well, this is a guy who was a 30 visit offensive guard. That, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get it. But
your knowledge was a curse. Your knowledge was a curse. Yeah.
It was. You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, it really showcased our skill set because we killed this draft, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was on top of everything. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
and see,
so.
and I think my knowledge was a curse. See, because
Right.
I don't see because when I got 7 maulers, right?
Right.
Where I'm literally over here like this, Tuck. I'm literally over here like this.
Right.
Even if we don't get right, I'll be cool with Matthew Bergeron.
Right.
He get wiped out. Then Matthew Bergeron get wiped out. I'm still chilling the whole time. I'm not panicking. Cody Mock go. I'm chilling. I'm like, all right, let's get Moffitt. Right?
Right.
Then he go, and you like, oh my God. Then you lose Nick. And you like,
Right.
oh Jesus. And then you lose the other Nick in round 7 and Andrew Voorhees. You know what I mean?
Right.
And every one of these dudes, except for Andrew, because of his red shirt, I felt would have been a very capable left guard. Very capable.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because when I was doing the day 3 live stream, like, you know, if you go back and look, I even put Mafia on my thumbnail. But I got to the point, you know what? I wanted Mafia gone because I was sick of passing over. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get him out my face. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I felt because they kept just skipping over the position. I was like, you know what? I want Mafia off of here so that way I'm not sitting here wondering what if. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, and a lot of people, well, Osiris Torrance this, Osiris Torrance that. What pick did he go, boss? He went 59. As soon as we took Luke, the Bills was like, thank you. Thank you again. Got you. Got him again.
Got him again.
Got him.
We got you for McGovern and we got you for Osiris. They
Right,
ain't worried about no attitude. They ain't worried about no. All they worried about is he ain't give up no sacks in 1,400 attempts.
Right.
We over here talking about attitudes and Big Duke didn't like him. Man, say, bro. And see, this. Let me tell you something. Like, bro, I don't want to hear about no attitude.
Right.
I remember what y'all had to talk about with Josh Ball. Don't act like we don't remember what y'all had to talk about publicly. I ain't trying to hear nothing about no temper tantrums. I ain't trying to hear none of that. You know what I mean?
None of that.
Yeah, because some of our players got some smells to them.
Stuff they willing to turn a blind eye on, but some attitude on the field, that's it.
Yeah, attitude. We're like attitude. It's like what y'all turned y'all neck to before.
Right. Attitude, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, I get it, you know.
And
like,
that's just
you know,
one pick. I ain't even got to worry about Osiris. It's just that you got wiped out the whole draft.
Right. Yeah.
So we literally over here now saying, and I got to do this because it might be hope. Now we got to go look at undrafted free agents. We got to go look at, you know what I mean? And look at their tape. And we got to say, will these guys work? Because that's what I'm doing tomorrow. You know what I mean? So that when we do the show, I'm going to be ready to have that conversation. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be like, I checked out everybody that we drafted. I see no Terrence Steele in this draft. You feel me? Or undrafted. Or I'm going to be like, hey, that guy right there, even though he undrafted. Because, see, one more thing, Tuck. Have you looked at Princeton Fant yet?
Yeah, I have.
What's your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I like him, man. Like, and I feel like here's the crazy part, right? So I was kind of down out on the draft, but I feel like he's a tough, physical wide receiver that's kind of a big body presence. You know what I'm saying? He can get the ball in his hands, and so we also got Jalen Monroe, you know, another wide receiver. So you know, I'm sitting looking at the undrafted free agent, and that's the part that got me excited about everything. You know what I'm saying?
Undrafted free agents got me excited too.
Well, I was going crazy for the undrafted free agent. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now we cooking. 'Cause like I said, once people see Darrell Johnson and they see Isaiah Land, like they're gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're cooking a little bit. But you know, I think we got a lot of quality guys in undrafted free agency that it's really gonna impress people. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Well, on a good note, I'll say this: even though I'm concerned, and I have no problem saying I'm concerned, right? I still trust Will McClay in the if it get tight. You know what I mean? It's no better fixer than Will McClay. On that, I trust Will McClay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On like it, cause see, if it start breaking down, you know what I mean? Like if we get in the training camp, Ball start getting injured, and then we start seeing Matt Lewesko looking trash or Ball looking like he getting killed, right?
Right.
I trust that Will McClay can go dust off his free agent list, right? And he go work some magic. See, that's where I trust. See, a lot of times people say I trust Will McClay because they really just trying to put a Band-Aid on a bad pick that they can't explain. You can't explain it, so you could just fall on, I just trust Will. Y'all tripping. Y'all don't trust Will McClay? Like, it wasn't Will McClay in that room with Taco?
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't Will McClay in that. And then some of the times, Will McClay will say was right, and they'll veto him.
With Reggie Robinson, like, you know, but we don't count those. We don't count those.
Yeah, and then sometimes he vetoed. So even if he right, somebody else can make a dumb pick. You know what I mean? So it's like we can't just fall on I trust Will McClay just blindly. I would say I trust Will McClay if he had the veto pen. He not the veto. He not the president. Everybody don't look to him for the final decision. It's a committee. So what he's going to do, he's going to make the case.
We saw the back and forth, right? We saw the back and forth.
We saw it.
You know,
he had to make his case because Tuck. I thought they just went by the board. Why they debating? I thought the board. I thought the board just did everything. I thought it was just the board.
And here's my whole thing. I want to see. I want to rewind that clip like 3 minutes earlier because I want to know was that after that? Is that after the Bills already turned in the card for the tight end?
They ain't even show that Tuck.
Before we got leapfrog.
See, because right now they marketing Mozzie. That's what they doing. See, people got to understand it's the marketing. So that's why I don't be caring about. They said he's a blocker. Coach came out. I said, I remember. Because nobody could sell me that Chris Richard wanted Tristan Hill. Nobody. How can you be the passing game coordinator with 4 safeties? Remember them 4 safeties was sitting there at 58?
Right.
You the passing game coordinator, but you say, give me the DT. No, that was Rod. That was not me, because I would have picked Thornhill.
Right. Yeah.
But they be trying to come out with these wee-woos. Yeah.
But that's too much independent thought, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We supposed to just watch the clip, boss, and just say Mozzie was always.
Yeah. That's what happened with Mozzie. And then what we supposed to do, this is what they want us to do. They will want us to come out here and just be like, I like to pick a lot. And I do. Mozzie, I do like that one, but I'm saying how they want us to sell it. They want us to sell it for them. They want us to be out there like, and look, they was in a room and he talked about, he made the case that it was one tech and it was multiple maulers on the offensive line. So he made the most sense, and he's going to come in here. He's going to be a 3-tech/1 tech, 1 tech/3 tech. And we're going to go to the, that's how they want us to sell it. But they don't want us saying, but pick 2, what happened with that? See, they don't want that. They want us out here like, it's his blocking. It's his blocking, Tuck. You don't get that? It's his blocking.
Yeah. Where's that audio? Where's that audio? That's where I really want to see. You know, that's the thing. I went home good on Thursday. I went home and slept good Thursday after the Mozzie pick. I was like, okay, we cooking.
Yeah.
And then I got punched in the stomach. Ball.
Man, got punched in the stomach. So I tell you what, if they roll out there with something wild like Steele and Tyler next to each other, I'm gonna be like, bro, we was worried for nothing. But in the moment, I think it's wise to be concerned, to be all the way wise. It's like, I ain't trying to get burned 3 times to learn that I'll get lied to by this front office. What's your final words, big dog?
Yeah, my final word, man, like I said, at the end of the day, Cowboys Nation, we wasn't already in a good situation. You know, I know some people are frustrated about the draft, but at the end of the day, I feel like we still going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You know, we got to get behind our players and support them, pull for them. Like I said, Luke got the star on his helmet. I'm Luke's biggest fan. And let's go ahead and get this season on popping. So, you know, like I said, what people got to understand is you got to appreciate what we do. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not ever going to sugarcoat things. That's why me and Boss are brothers. We never not going to come just for y'all views or for y'all clicks. We going to tell y'all what y'all see, and you can take it or leave it. But don't ever confuse us being negative or some Cowboys haters. I posted my receipt today. I'm locked and loaded, already paid. You know what I'm saying? I'm already paid for the season. So it's like, you know what? We're true fans. We're all after the same thing, you know? But we when you put in the work, you earn the voice and the right to disagree. So that's where I'm at with it. So
love it, Tuck. Killed it. Hey, and so my final words is tight end at pick 58, Dallas Cowboys. Really? Yeah, we did that. So he is our guy. I support you.
That ain't my fault. That ain't my fault, y'all.
But I support you. I support you fully. I want you to be the best out of all the tight ends that we've ever talked about. I want you to be the Kelsey. I want you to be the Andrews. I want you to be the Kittle. It's a long shot that this go happen, but I would love to be wrong, especially year one. Now, could you do it year 2, year 3? Yes. But the chances of him coming out year 1 based on history of multiple tight ends, no, I don't see it. Just being real. But at the same time, he's in the family. I support you. Let's get it. We go likely need you to go all the way. And let's get it. I'm going to check out his film. If I see a dog, I'm going to tell you, this dude is a dog. If I see somebody that's a decent blocker, I'm going to tell you, you got lied to. They oversold what he doing. I'm going to be straight up because I'm not the wee-woo type. I'm not the one that's going to give you some smoke. I ain't going to never do it. That's the main thing me and Tuck want y'all to do. You don't have to agree with me, but you go trust me because you going to know I ain't trying to BS you. For sure.
Right.
For sure. So y'all stay up, man. This Boss Cowboy Sports. And J Tuck, make sure everybody know where to find you, big dog.
Yeah, y'all can find me on my YouTube channel, CFO Sports, man. I appreciate everyone. We just hit 7,000 over there. So we're growing.
Congrats, bro.
I appreciate it. And then also you can find me on all social media platforms at JTuck151, man. So it's the testament to the work that we putting in our community. And I said this in my show a second ago, what's happening right now, a lot of eyes just around the NFL from other fan bases are now coming to our community, seeing what we're doing, because Cowboys Nation, not a lot of teams get what y'all get. You know what I'm saying? Y'all spoiled. I just did a live show. Boss did a live show. We probably got about 8 people live right now giving me the best content. This doesn't happen with other fan bases. So they come over, they see what we're doing, and they're definitely appreciative of it because we were breaking down some of the prospects that they drafted. So I appreciate all of y'all, man. I'm going to get rocking. I'll see y'all tomorrow night.
Let's get it. All right, man. That was tough. All right, man. Woo-wee. And it's your boy Boss, man. Y'all stay up. We'll be back tomorrow.